love of liberty, in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Oh na na na, oh la la la, oh la la. Give me treatment nice, just give me some cup with ice. My friend and them feeling right. Oh Lord, we in paradise when you see me. Treat me cool, we come from the bad boyhood. Them people is do ya Lord. Yo, the party bug each other ready. Oh Lord, this million girl down in the party. Oh Lord, select a play them big bad song. The cooler pack up with the rum. I don't want to leave this party. When you see we treat me nice, just give me some cup with ice. My friend and them feeling right. Oh Lord, we in paradise. When you see we treat we good, we come from the bad boyhood. Them people that do ya Lord. The prettiest woman from near and far, burn them. With temptation it make me step too hard. My Lord, wind your waist and come. Pull up the waist, how you swing that wrong. I want to hold on the waist and jam. Tell them you know that we having fun. When you see me, treat me nice, just give me some cup with ice. My friend and them feeling right. Oh Lord, we in paradise. When you see we treat we good, we come from the bad boyhood. And people let's treat you good. Yo, the party bug each other ready. Oh Lord, this million girl down in the party. Oh Lord, select a play them big bad song. The cooler pack up with the rum. I don't want to leave this party. When you see me, treat me. Oh God, don't beat me. Yeah, oh God, just treat me. Good, good, good. When you see me, treat me nice. just give me some cup with ice. My friend and them feeling right. Oh Lord, we in paradise. When you see me, treat me good. We come from the bad boyhood, and people just do you good. When you see me, treat me nice. Just give me some cup with ice. My friend and them feeling right. Oh Lord, we in paradise. When you see me, treat me good. We come from the bad boy. Treat me, oh na na na. Treat me, oh la la la. Oh la la, yeah. Oh na na na. Treat me, oh la la la. Oh la la. When you see me, treat me nice. Just give me some cup with ice. My friend and them feeling right. Oh Lord, we in paradise. When you see me, treat me good. We come from the bad boyhood. Them people just do ya Lord. Yeah, the party bucket shut already. Oh Lord, it's million girl down in the party. Oh Lord, selector play them big bad song. The cooler pack up with rum. I don't want to leave this party. When you see we, treat me nice. Just give me some cup with ice. My friend and them feeling right. Oh Lord, we in paradise. When you see we, treat me good. We come from the bad boyhood. Them people that do ya Lord. The prettiest woman
Rise up.
from here
It's the NETT Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Wind your waist and come. Pull up the waist, how you swing that drum. I want to hold on the waist and jam. Tell them you know that.
Well, as the song says, treat me nice.
Me nice, just give me some cup with ice.
Just bring the rum and ice for a Monday morning.
When you see where, we go.
I'm gonna treat you good nevertheless. Whatever you bring the coffee and come, right? So good morning to Trinidad, good morning to Tobago. How are you guys doing this morning? Neighbors in the Caribbean, hoping all is well with you. And all the people who are streaming all around the globe, good day to you. And of course, thank you for coming in different time zones, time slots. Really happy to be in your company this beautiful Monday morning. It is a wonderful day. So let's give God thanks and praises. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for bringing us together for another day and all that we do. Let it be a blessing, honor to you. Sir Charles, that is me. Happy am I to be in the space with you. As we welcome everybody to the Breakfast Show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here, we bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink. Good morning. Good morning. Open your eyes, feel the light. Everything's gonna be alright. Good morning. We're wishing you a colorful day. Let the sunshine guide you on your way. Smile a little, let your worries fade. Good morning. May your heart feel light and free. So much joy in everything you see. Good morning, yeah, a beautiful day. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. It's such a beautiful day. And of course, good morning, everybody. And of course, we welcome you to your breakfast show right here on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio. And it's hope you guys had a really fantastic weekend. I am yours truly, Sir Charles. And of course, good morning to my co-host, Richard, who will join us at some point in time this morning. Will join us a little later on. And of course, Wendell, who is popping in, as always. Wendell, good morning.
Morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over this absolutely messed up globe. Absolutely messed up Trinidad and Tobago. I make no apologies for saying it. As beautiful as we can be sometimes, this place is messed up. The world is messed up. So find your little spot and just try to exist. Try to be happy. Try to make yourself happy because no one else is going to make you happy. I'm convinced of that too. Where's my mouse? So good morning, people. We're here. The breakfast show is here, of course. We'll try to bring you information, education, and of course, entertainment. You know how we do it. Here on a morning between 6 and anything. 6 and 8:30, 6 and 8:45, 6 and 10:10, 6 and 9, 6 and 3 minutes past 9. But we're here.
How was your weekend? What you did this weekend? Anything?
Pretty quiet. I spent it on planes mostly. It was good. I always make the best of where I go and what I do and who I do it with. I always make the most of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's not always enjoyable, but at the same time, I pick out and find some joy in whatever I do when I do it. But I don't know. It was just depressing, people. Every time we leave radio and come back, there is some level of depression to go through. Every time we sign off on a Friday and come back on a Monday, trust me, there is some level of depression and some unexpected level of depression to come. But I'll leave that for later. But did you? I see there was a plane crash in the Dominican Republic yesterday on the tarmac, a private airplane. Both the pilot and co-pilot were killed. I don't know if you all saw that video. I got that video last night. Well, somehow this morning from Captain Ron. And I saw it trending on other media.
Both of them alone on the plane?
Apparently it was both of them. I guess that's all they reported. The pilot and the co-pilot were killed. The plane exploded on impact. You know what I mean? So I couldn't see anybody surviving that. You know what I mean? Captain Ron's caption said everyone died. But I think it might have just been 2 people on the plane. I stand corrected. Okay. Of course, the other international story, I'm sure you all saw it. Is the twice meltdown from Donald Trump, President of the United States. One with an interviewer who he just summarily dismissed and say you should. Well, I'm sure you have the video, right? So Charles, I think I would have shared it. And then the other one with NBC News, Ms. Welker, where he got up and walked off. He said, "No, I'm not doing this anymore. These are my words." And he got up and walked off the set. And later, apparently, called to ask her back for a next interview. Somebody needs to do an intervention for Donald Trump because they said they needed to do an intervention for Joe Biden. And I agree because Joe Biden clearly was in a stage of early stages of dementia. It was obvious, but he was not violent. He was not aggressive with it. Now, dementia, if you know how it works, it can affect you in many different ways. It's affecting Donald Trump in the violent way. That's how I see it. It's affecting him in the very crass, aggressive, violent way. Because he even put his hand on the reporter. And I said, she must have even paid about 10 times after.
So, but I did not see it, so I really can't even comment on it because I don't know what was the nature of the interview, what it was speaking about. No idea. He called her, and the media crooked and all manner of things, and he was just despicable. And we following that. Olia? Oh Lord. Well, Olia in for a rough ride for the next 4 years.
however long Donald Trump have and however long our leaders have here, only in for that kind of ride. Trust me. He was most despicable. On two occasions with two different media people.
I would probably have to go back and show you. This weekend I was already tied up with a whole
sure I didn't share that, boy?
No, you didn't share that. So I didn't see it. So I don't know, what was the interview all about and what may have triggered that situation, because clearly if he's doing an interview that is probably whatever he's speaking about is not going his way. Interviewer pressing.
Well, yeah.
Express that they, some leaders get very uncomfortable with that, Not everybody can handle that.
Well, he obviously was determined either not to answer questions or to tell the media what he feel like telling them. You understand? But I guess we operating in a safer mode here. We just not facing the media at all.
Well, that might be good for us.
Lord.
Yes, that might be very, very good for us. You could be saving ourselves from that.
Yeah. Yes, David McCarthy, he is collapsing before the world to see it, right? It's so many different descriptions you could use for the current status of the President of the United States. I really think he is going through a stage of dementia, and it's an aggressive stage. It's one of those aggressive stages. That's what I think. That I have no way of proving it, but that's what I think.
I mean, it's a tough job, eh? It is.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but you gotta recognize that something ain't right. You know what I mean?
But most people that don't really see things in themselves, Some people, most people don't see things changing within self. And sometimes when people are around them, unless you have people who are really close, who could really speak with them, that they would listen to, would recognize that, okay, certain things are happening, and maybe you need to take some time off, rock back, change what you're doing. But not everybody accepts that, and especially when I would expect when you're in that level of authority.
Well, we have seen some leaders who have put themselves in a position where nobody could speak to them. Even if you think somebody should, they're putting themselves in a position where don't tell me anything. I don't want to hear anything. You understand? I'm such a maximum leader that I don't want to hear anything. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Yes, Scorpion Pepper, it is narcissism. It is narcissism, and plenty of people suffer from that. But at the same time, that is because he also, as I said, the reporter said that he called her after and said he would like to do another interview, almost like if either he acknowledges he embarrassed himself, or you don't even remember. You know what I mean? Oh Lord.
With the real anyhow, let's know what good news and come back now.
Yeah, sure.
We got some good news.
Nobody predicted this. On June 1st, LiShowSpeed dropped Champions with no label, no FIFA deal, no industry backing. Just a Portugal jersey, a Miami Stadium set, and a song that shouted out all 48 nations. 11 million YouTube views in 48 hours. And today, FIFA slid into his DMs. We heard it. We liked it. It's on the official FIFA World Cup 2026 album. Speed was on a live stream when it happened. He opened the Instagram message live in front of millions of people, jumped off his bed, hit a backflip, and threw Ronaldo's shoe into the camera. The internet broke in real time. Before we go further, hit the follow button right now. Because the stories we're dropping this World Cup, you cannot afford to miss a single one. Because here is what just happened. a 21-year-old streamer from Cincinnati with no record label, no manager, no industry machine behind him, just earned a place on the same official FIFA album as Shakira, Daddy Yankee, The Rolling Stones, Future, Tyler, 21 Savage, Stormzy, 18 tracks, the most star-studded World Cup album ever made, and a kid who made a song in his bedroom is on it. This is what the internet does now. The gatekeepers are gone. The fans decide. And FIFA, for the first time in history, listened. The tournament hasn't kicked off yet. And Speed already won. Drop in the comments, is Champions the best song on the album?
The power of the internet. Power of the internet. And a young man who seems to be challenging all of the norms. Yeah. He just released something in 2 days, Wendell. 2 days. 11 million people. You know, I don't think any of FIFA's thing that they put out that within that time has hit that kind of numbers. He's just doing his stuff, and the internet is really working for this young man.
Yes, it is.
There's no stopping it.
Of course, the World Cup is about to start in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. I haven't been seeing or hearing anything coming out of Mexico. I know Canada is abuzz with people. If you see people all over, downtown Toronto, certainly. People all over. And of course, this month is also Pride Month. And they celebrated it big in Canada. Big. You know? So you're seeing all manner of people all over downtown, holding hands, 2 men, 2 women, man and woman, plenty families. Oh, they're all over. This is packed with people. Yeah, it's packed with people, you know. Of course, let's greet the people in the chat. Robert Allen, good morning to all. Happy new week. Well, we got a very rough start to the week, and we'll get into it a little later. Valerie Mendoza says, good morning. Margaret Thomas, Maria Cellier, Eunice Dublin, Odell Guy out there in Sangre Grande. Rain all weekend. Huh? Blessed morning to Charles Wendell and Richard.
Beautiful weekend. Only rain. Yeah. Want some more of that.
Pamela O'Connor is saying, what a sad time another innocent life has been taken. We need to get rid of this curse over our land. I don't think we will. Victor Phillip says, good morning. Kenny in Harlem, Manuela Peters, Ava Smith, blessed rising, Wendell Richards, Charles, and all locked on. Diane Payne, blessed morning, guys, on the live. Scorpion Pepper, good morning, sunshine. So you're up early, girl. Amen to that, Diane. Too many of our children are being harmed. One too many. Enough is enough. Marlon Motley says, good morning. Ozzy Molino, Carol Guevara, Robert Taylor, Boy Bidesi from Debe, Victor Phillip, what a weekend. Magic, Grand Rising, gentlemen. Erica Charles, thank God for life. Deborah Noel, Seret, good morning. To my 3 favorite hosts. Wendell, my birthday is coming up soon. I will pass by Rumbox to hang out and get to meet you. I appreciate that very much, Deborah. Fridays is always the best day to meet me there once I'm in Trinidad. But these coming Fridays should be good. Prabha Ramdial, morning all. Have a great day. Ian Stewart says, super, God is good. Blessing and love to all. Nicola Nichols says, good morning. Debbie Modest, Gavin Frank, Joyce Phillips, CJ from New York. What is she doing there? Dancing. Carla Hercules, good morning. Sherwin and Juliet Kerr, Michael Eastman, Marcia Rock, Empress Rez Lal. When you see me, treat me good. What was that tune you played, Sir Charles? Who was that?
Turner.
That was Turner? Okay, yeah. Wasn't sure. All right. Bernadette and Alicia Yates, Trinidad Margot, Stephanie Santana, Alistair Hart. I'm totally hurt by the murder of the 12-year-old child in in Erin. My apologies. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. Kathy Ann Charles says, good morning. Special morning to Arlene and Stephen. Slick Money Grip. Susie B, Helene Houghton, David McCarthy, top of the day, to the dynamic duo and terrific trio, Carla Cupid, blessings to all, Felix Kazo. It's a cold Monday in Maloney, is it? Apollina says, good morning to you guys, Empress Reyes. That wasn't Trump, it was a clone. Yeah.
AI business. I know somebody to get it right, you know.
Cheryl Marat says, good morning, everyone. David McCarthy trying to be go one-star line with Donald Trump and Marco Rubio. That's a question. Marva Williams, morning, what evil overshadow our country? Little girl murdered. Okay. Scorpion Pepper, David McCarthy, not wants to anymore. Our government has already done so. Sankofa says, greetings. Let me get some new chat. Chris too says, morning, gentlemen. Sir Charles, did you get my WhatsApp?
Who was that? Chris?
Chris, yeah.
I saw something anyway, but you see what people realize. Yeah, not only that. Sometimes you see people be sharing so many different things, Wendell. Sometimes you don't know somebody sending a personal message for you, or they're just sharing a good morning, a good news, a breaking news. Sometimes it's plenty. I can't go through all of things sometimes.
I can well imagine.
Social media is
gotta get an assistant.
I know. Yeah, if you spend all that time, I mean, the amount of messages. I mean, I'm like in about 5 different chats. Some of them are the archive. I can't even go through some of them.
Oh God, no.
You know, it's just.
I just buff people in chat for that, or remove myself from the chat.
Sometimes you could spend whole day just checking messages.
I get a lot of messages. Sometimes it might be a clip of something that I don't watch. I open it, so let the person know at least I acknowledge that receiving it. But I don't watch it. I don't have the time sometimes, and I just don't feel like sometimes. So,
and now that social media is impacting so heavily, everything is a YouTube, TikTok video somebody sending. I can't watch all those videos.
Yeah. And especially if it's more than a minute long, trust me, I ain't watching it.
Yeah, I promise
unless it's something I really want to see.
Every TikTok, Instagram, Facebook video, you know.
Yeah. I don't do long videos and long posts. Donald Trump will end like King Ahab. Brenda Joseph says, good morning. Donald Trump had an interview with his daughter-in-law recently and wasn't so disrespectful. Okay. Sankofa said Trump has always been rude and abusive to journalists. That's true. Mr. Trump could hardly stand up properly as he exited the studio. His age was evident as he left his chair. Lucky ones amongst us will develop the bending back syndrome. That's true, Carla Cupid. And I think that's why he held on to the girl. He kind of put his hand on her when he was bending up, when he was standing up. Anne Noel, good morning to the breakfast show from Oshawa, Ontario. Democrats are trying to use one of the constitutional amendments to get him out. Yeah, good luck with that. Good morning. This is from Edwin Joseph. Good morning, Wendell, and the rest of you on the breakfast show. As you all know by now, what we are going through in our area with this child that they kill. I am so confused that she will always visit our home. Wow. Condolences, Edwin, and to the people of Erin, Lucero, that general area, on the brutal, what is alleged murder of 12-year-old. Why am I not remembering the name? I certainly want to remember the story. Yeah. Why am I 12-year-old Mercedes Cabrera? Beefy Smith says, good morning to the breakfast crew. Melchizedek, good morning. Dina Allen, hi everyone. Even if the US president has dementia, they can't come out and say that publicly. Yeah, true. That is ground for removal, which brings up an interesting conspiracy theory with the CIA. Let me read some new chats here. Victor Philip, that is the power of the people. Stellar Services, good morning, guys. I hear that Speed tried to get tourism TNT to support his trip, and they refused. Well, I don't know. We don't know. But isn't he doing this himself? Going to all the countries? Unless he's getting help from the other countries, I don't see why we should. But he did a lot for our tourism, I have to tell you that. Elizabeth says, morning, gentlemen. Lots of rain. I enjoy the rain. Wayne Ramsey. And Margarita Chow says, good morning. All right. Those are all the people on the chat.
Lots of people checking in this morning. So it started here with Reverend Bishop Dr. Victor Phillips. Good morning to you. Charmaine, CJ in New York. I have to stop saying Charmaine. CJ, all right. Frank in Aruka, good morning. Peter Wilson said, James, good morning. Zena, Arima people, good morning. The Powder Puff Girls. Fifi out there in Ethiopia. Mr. Augustine, good to have you locked up early this morning. Brenda in Penal. Captain Ron in Orlando, Mr. Billy in Powder Magazine, we have Archbishop Ashton Pratt, and all those people when they were talking about out there in Canada. Kent in Laventel, Terry and Peters, good day to you. Mr. Beeps, Pity Valley, Vikram Mahi, who's flying out of Barbados. Rena Budo Jennings, good morning to everybody on the inside early. Thank you very much. And of course, good morning to the folks on Kyle Caribbean TV. All right. Now, a couple of things we have coming up for you this Wednesday. We're starting our Father's Day pop-up giveaway. All right. So you can look forward to that. We're not sure how we're going to do it as yet, but by Wednesday we'll figure it out, right, Wendell?
Yeah. Well, we are already sorry. I had already proposed that people learn the jingle for the Power Breakfast Show. Not the Power Breakfast Show, the Breakfast Show, sorry. Learn the jingle and sing that. Easy. Right, I want to make it easy for men. Women could deal with a lot of things. Men can't. So we're making it easy for the men. Just sing the jingle. Learn from the Breakfast Show, right? That's
well, if you want, you can always go back to the YouTube channel and play back any one of the videos and look at it from there, right? That's the easiest way to find it. Yeah. Right? Go back to our YouTube channel, pull up the Breakfast Show, any one of them. It's at the beginning. So it's within the first 5 minutes of the video, you'll get it in that area there. And just learn the jingle, right? Or if you want to add something to it also, it's always good. So we could start that on Wednesday. Most likely we do it in the 8 o'clock hour to give it enough space because so many things are happening in between the other areas there. And one thing that is happening also is that the World Cup starts on Thursday. So we're looking forward to that. And we have something that we are calling the World Cup Insights. So we will be bringing you, little tidbits about the game of itself, where it started, who are the players, what's taking place. So yeah, all that's coming up. So we're going for that break. And when we come back, we'll see what is trending in the newspapers this morning. Right, Wendell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get ready.
The road to football's biggest stage starts right here on NETT Radio and Kyle TV. Join us for Inside the Net, the road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights. Every weekday, take a journey through World Cup history, legendary players, unforgettable goals, football's greatest nations, rising stars, iconic stadiums, and the stories behind the beautiful game. From Brazil to Argentina, Germany to France, and every nation chasing football glory. Join us daily at 7:55 a.m. and 11:55 a.m. Don't just watch the World Cup, live the passion. Inside the Net, road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas. Shops of Day Bay, 95 Circular Road, Vista Bella. Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2, Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnanan for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
Gaylan and the Ultimate DJ Shane presents the Reggae Ride 26. A touch of red, white, gold, and green. Come out with your crew. Represent your color. Get ready for pure reggae vibes on June 27th on board the Harbour Master. Boarding 11 p.m. and sailing at midnight. For over 20 years, the Reggae Ride has delivered the best reggae experience. Music by DJ Damien, Ever Slick, DJ Junior, Gaylan, and the Ultimate DJ Shane. Get your advance tickets only $250 at Agard's Nuts House and City Furniture Stores nationwide or on islandnytickets.com.
Remember the song used to make you rock away. Those were the days.
Powered by Agard's Nuts House, City Furniture, Tokopia Hotel and Lounge, Cricket Land Academy. The Reggae Ride 26, a touch of red, white, gold, and green.
Just a little bit longer, baby. Oh, my love keeps growing stronger.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
All right, we are back, and morning, Richard.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Richard. How are you?
I'm all right. So I'm being a little late, but my camera decided it needed to update today. It took forever.
So when you finish up on like Friday or something, you ain't put it on again until this morning.
No, it comes on automatically once I turn on my computer. But when I turn on my computer this morning, it's red. And nothing is happening, and then it says need to update, and then I had to take out the old version and put in the new version, and I was going on my phone, because I was so fed up. Anyway.
Let's get into headlines today. Of course, the headlines in today's online edition of the Express reads, "Leave sacred artifacts alone," says IRO head. And I think that story has to do with the break-in at the Roman Catholic Church in St. James recently, which I found strange because there are so many cameras in that area. How come they haven't found the person? How come they haven't arrested the person as yet? Well, maybe they're treating it like when they stole my fan and when they steal from other people in the area, because nothing happens. Nothing happens. And there are plenty cameras in that area. If anybody know that part of St. James.
They like to steal from the Catholics and they don't find anything. I remember in Mount Lambert or Mount Hope, they stole the bell. They never found the bell.
Yeah, they went searching in some scrap iron dealer yard and thing. Didn't they find it?
No, I don't think they never find the bell.
Found it? I don't think so. Anyway, Pope invited to visit Trinidad and Tobago, so says Roman Catholic Archbishop Father Jason Gordon. Well, I hope he can help here, yes. Jereme bags bronze, that's athletics. And in some other news, this is too much. 3 men questioned. I believe that has to do with the murder of Mercedes. Abandoned vehicle leads to suspect in schoolgirl's death. TNT is a democracy, not a police state. Yeah. Search for missing girl ends in tragedy. Government to seek 3-month extension of state of emergency. And, you know, when I think about that, how that young girl went missing, her grandfather put her in a car to go home. And I suspect he may put her in a car that he is aware of. Maybe not. But the report reads that the driver was alone in the car. And she never got home, and then there was a search for her, and then her body was ended up being found. They haven't stated if anything else happened to her, you know. But go ahead, Richard.
The Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for today, and main headline: outrage over 12-year-old's murder, missing schoolgirl Mercedes Lane found dead in Erin, 26-year-old suspect in custody. Dad, some sick bastard killed my daughter. So that's the main story in the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. A teacher remembers Mercedes as outgoing and kind. Government heading to Parliament on Wednesday to extend SOE. Vieira, government must detail need for any SOE extension. Padarath slams unions plan to protest outside ministers' homes. Economists not optimistic about TNT's UNSC seat. China opens Blue Silk Road to Caribbean. Tobago's future depends on investment, not stagnation, and Chaguaramas looks forward to seal clear, and CBTT, meaning the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago, approves new e-money provider. And in sports, Dream lands bronze at Diamond League in Stockholm. Phillips pumped by return of senior players. Reggae Girls edge Panama in international friendly, and Rugby men go down to Mexico 24-10 in a friendly. And that's it for, the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian this morning.
You know, I have one daughter, right? And we lived on the Western Main Road in St. James, and she went to Mokorapo Girls RC School. If you know Western Main Road, Mokorapo Girls RC School is on the Western Main Road, right? There is not a single day she went to school alone. And not a single day she came home from school alone. School was less than literally 5 minutes walk up the road. And she didn't, not a single day, as I said, she walked up that road by herself or came back by herself. Either myself or her mom would be taking her to school or picking her back up. Waiting outside the school for when the bell ring and children come out and walk back down the road. Not a single day. People, and I'm not saying this in connection with this particular incident, right? I'm saying it generally. Do not take any chances with your children. None. Absolutely none. I would go to church with my little son, and he would want to go to the bathroom. I would go to the bathroom with him in the church. Do not take any chances with your children. Don't think that it's a village, everybody know one another. Do not take any chances. There are people hunting all over. There are sick people within where you live in. It's obvious. They may very well be serial killers. Do not take any chances with your children. Please, I'm begging all you. I've said this. I spent how much ever years on the Power Breakfast Show saying the same thing. So till one morning, I invited people to message me privately if they know what's happening with a child in the area that nobody can't deal with. And I got a few messages and I would have dealt with it. You understand? Do not take chances with your children. Oh, crying out loud, man. These things just hurt so bad when these things happen. You know what I mean? And a lot of times it's for people, you don't know better, you think you're doing the right thing, you know what I mean? But don't take any chances. None.
Yeah. And Trinidad and Tobago is a society that has been going in a particular direction for a long time. And that is why sometimes when I see things happening, even on social media, with people who are constantly being scammed and getting set up and robbed on Facebook Marketplace and things like that, and I wonder sometimes, like people are not reading. A man will leave his home in Toko and go down in Port of Spain and go behind the bridge to meet a man to sell a gold chain or to buy something and walk with cash, go in and buy a car that you never see and all kind of things. So people are not either listening or learning. I don't know what to say about it. But.
Well, they're taking chances. And as Dean Allen said, the data is this. Most children are hurt by people they know. You might be right, Dean. I believe you are right. But we're not recognizing that there are people in our neighborhoods, people sometimes in our own family that are sick. They're not well. Don't take any chances. Oh, jeez. To be reading these stories over and over, and they used to come few and far in between at one time. Now they're coming almost every month. We just had a situation where a young girl also went missing. Nobody has been arrested for that. So it's not ghosts doing these things. And somebody must know, somebody must have an idea. Anyway.
I mean, in this particular circumstance, I know you're speaking generally, but in this circumstance, it's a grandfather putting in a car.
Mm-hmm.
Something he probably has done 100 times.
Yeah.
And it ends in this horrific way, and it's a monster. I mean, it's a 12-year-old girl. And you know what? And you know what? In the country, I mean, all murders are horrific, but murders of children are even more painful.
Mm-hmm.
It's more painful because they're innocent. They're young, and you go through the trauma of what that child must have gone through. We have to assume that the incident started off by the car. That's the assumption that you're going to make.
Yeah.
And I hear you, Wendell, and some about taking no chances with your children, and drop them and pick them back up. But sometimes I'm driving around and sometimes in the morning, and I see little children going to school on their own.
Yes.
And I'm like, in my mind, I'm going on, what propels a parent to send that young child by themselves? So sometimes it's two, but they're very young. Sometimes it's one going with their bag briskly. And I'm saying the parent has to be close, one, because the child is walking. But two, why aren't they walking with the child? And isn't that, because, I start to go down the road, it's a single mother, and she has 3, 4, 5 children, I don't know. And so this one has to go because she has to deal with 2 others that are younger at home. Yeah. I don't know, you don't know what the dynamics of people's lives are, where they have to take what should not be a risk. That your child should be safe to get home, to get to school safely in your neighborhood that they could walk to and safely back.
Yeah.
That's what your community should be like. And for some people, it may be practically impossible.
Yeah.
But
you
still,
can imagine what this grandfather going through this morning.
Exactly.
Just like what happened the other day with the child that drowned, remember? The grandmother committed suicide,
Mm-hmm.
It can't be easy. It can't be. And I know, as Richard, as you rightly said, some of these things are absolutely unavoidable for some families. But my God, so we're not blaming the family at the end of the day, but you can't be too careful. And I think I saw somebody posted just now, better you drop your child to school and you reach to work late and deal with your horrible boss than you had to deal with results this kind of results. You understand? Because some people it's because they can't do the both. They can't reach to work early and drop the child to school. You understand? So we understand all those dynamics. You understand? We understand that. But I don't know what's the answer. I honestly don't know. I know what I did. And I know what I've advised people to do. But I don't know what is your situation and how you could deal with it. You know what I mean? But surely we have people in society, and even more now than before, who are demons.
For real. People, let's do our Did You Know and come back. Every August bank holiday, 2 million people flood the streets of West London. Steel bands, mass costumes, jerk chicken, sound systems shaking the pavement. The largest street festival in Europe. Most people think it's just a party. It was born from a massacre. Between 1948 and 1971, thousands of people arrived in Britain from the Caribbean to help rebuild the country after the Second World War. The British government invited them. Britain needed them. Many settled in Notting Hill and North Kensington. What they found when they got there was a Britain that invited them to work, but not to exist. A group of white working class youth known as the Teddy Boys were openly hostile to the black newcomers. Their voices were amplified by right-wing political groups. Oswald Mosley, founder of the British Union of Fascists, held rallies in West London with one message: keep Britain white. In August 1958, racially motivated violence on black Londoners escalated throughout the summer. On 29th of August, a mob of white nationalists marched on Bramley Road and attacked the homes of West Indian residents. The riots continued every night until 5th September. Police largely stood by. The government did nothing. Then in May 1959, Kelso Cochran, a 32-year-old Antiguan-born carpenter and aspiring lawyer, was murdered in a racially motivated attack by a gang of white men in Notting Hill while walking home just after midnight. The case was never solved. Over 1,200 people attended his funeral in an act of collective defiance. That is the world that Claudia Jones walked into. Claudia Jones was a Trinidadian-born activist who had been arrested in America for her communist beliefs, suffered a heart attack in prison, and was deported to Britain. She founded Britain's first major black newspaper, the West Indian Gazette, editing it above a barbershop in Brixton. And then 5 months after the riots, she organized the first Caribbean carnival at St. Pancras Town Hall in January 1959. Steel bands, masqueraders, calypso performers, dancers, a carnival queen competition broadcast on the BBC, a celebration of Caribbean culture as a direct act of defiance against the violence that had been done to her community. Not a party, a protest with music. In 1966, the carnival moved to the streets of Notting Hill. Trinidadian musician Russell Henderson led an impromptu procession through the neighborhood of his steel band. The streets themselves became the stage. In 1976, police clashed violently with carnival goers, using the Stuss Law to stop and search black attendees. The carnival became a battleground again. They tried to shut it down. It kept going every single year. Today, 2 million people attend. Jay-Z, Lil Kim, Busta Rhymes, Stormzy, Wiley, Craig David all performed on a Notting Hill carnival stage. The world's biggest artists on a stage built by a deported activist above a barbershop in Brixton. Claudia Jones died in 1964. 5 years after she created it, she never saw what it became. She is buried in Highgate Cemetery next to Karl Marx. Britain invited the Windrush generation to rebuild its country, and a black woman from Trinidad responded by building the greatest street party on earth. So what does it say about a country that still barely knows her name? Be sure to click follow for episode 2.
All right.
Yeah, that was a good historical perspective of that Nottingham Carnival and that Windrush generation. And, you know, and you see it even today and how England treats the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm. A place probably I'll never go to again because of that.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway. Folks, if you give me the chance, I'll preach all morning about how you deal with children and how you go out away for children and whatnot. And I know, as I said, a lot of different scenarios could come up, you know what I mean? But you can't be too careful. That's what I say. You can't be too careful. You know what I mean? Get them a phone, get a tracking device. It has so many different things that you could use now to ensure you always know where your child is. You know what I mean? don't take any chances, right? And reach out to someone. If you can't do it yourself, reach out and ask someone. You know what I mean? Ask for help. I don't think anybody will say no to any request for help with a child. I don't think so. You know what I mean? Get a trusted driver, but a lot of people do it, a trusted driver in the neighborhood that picks up children regularly. You know what I mean? And do that. Do something. Don't just sit back and say this ain't gonna happen to me. You understand? Do something. Please. I beg all you. Right?
People, the lines are open to you, 2811315-299-5156. You can get in on the show. We'd love to hear from you this morning as we go up to 7 o'clock. We have our morning poll, which we'll put up for you in a short. All right, caller, good morning. Caller, good morning. Raymond? Hello, caller. All right.
So Charles, you had to go and reset the phones.
I had to reset the phone again. I don't know. Yeah. Caller, are you there? I did the call. It's not hearing me.
Try someone else. Another chat issues on the chat this morning. Bishop Philip, I hear you on that, and you are. I suspect you are speaking from experience, but you know some people will take it the wrong way, you know. So just be mindful of that. Yeah, we taking calls, you know, people. Hey, everybody's sad this morning. Let me say good morning to my daughter, Shiris. Of course, she has produced two very talented grandsons to me. One of whom had me out waiting on standby list the board plane. So I went from Toronto to Philadelphia. So I the Philadelphia airport for about 3 hours before I get on a plane. Then to go to North Carolina. Sorry, not North Carolina, Virginia. That's North Carolina? What am I saying? It is Norfolk, Virginia. And then on the way back, I had to go through Charlotte, North Carolina. And then back to the things you do, eh? But it was a good experience.
All right, let me try this phone again. Mr. Grant.
Yeah, my brother.
All right.
Good morning.
Well, Mr. Grant, where are you going?
I had to come from the box window, and you had to put up $200 in it for me because I had to hold on too long to talk to all you. Now listen, I have a problem. This last Saturday night, I went on by the Desperados and coming back home in the rain at the edge of the beacon by picked up as the pastor go under the flyover by John Day. The grass saw nearly run off the road on top of the island window. Please, Miss Amin and them have to do something and help us between tongues because the grass covered the thing and I nearly run off in the rain. If I didn't know wrong, this would go thank God and the road is mad. That's serious thing. And next thing, you know after my name is Gerald Kelly window, the owner Dan Kelly, Dan is in.
Who?
Gerald Kelly. He used to bring Kelly's mask.
No, I don't know him.
Well, he's the owner of Danny's right by the big medical place there. The building they used to party and thing there a long time. You know, what I remember from country was he buried Thursday.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. And with the children thing, I used to drop my daughter to all she parties and go and pick up, and people used to say, Mama guy must say, boy, we should stick with your daughter because after them played, I say to be as Goliath. If you have felt my daughter, I come through because I see the pain my wife went through and I helped deliver her. Bury she after both and all kinds of things. I think it was carry to my daughter. And now, all the best for us. So I don't know.
Okay.
Mr. Grant, any day this week you could come and collect your stuff.
Yeah. Caller, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Sir Charles, Richard Wendell.
Morning.
In terms of the nurses, I see the nursing associations have become creative in terms of their protest, where they're insisting that if you don't want me to protest in front of the various ministries, we are going to go by the minister's home.
Yeah, I predicted that.
How some people feel that is something wrong, but remember we have precedent where that was done, and no other than the OWTU, which is one of the major unions, did this on many occasions. Now the government is complaining that they shouldn't do something like this. I don't have a problem with it.
All right.
Okay, no problem. Thanks very much, caller. Yeah.
We had asked this question some time ago, and maybe not on this show, maybe on the previous dispensation, about serial killers in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, we have asked about that. Yeah, we had asked it. Yeah, sometime years ago. Then.
Yeah. Do you believe we may have?
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Sesame Street. So Charles, on the break, you could see if you could pull it up. I'll try to find it too. Richard might be able to find it easier. There's a thing on a jingle on Sesame Street. Who are the people in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? You remember that jingle?
Mm-hmm.
Pull that up, Sir Charles, and play that.
Yeah, Richard, see if you could pull up that.
Yeah.
All right, so the poll is up and we are going for the news at 7 o'clock. Stay with us and we are coming back, right? Don't go anywhere.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now on NETT Radio and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. We begin with tragic news. Police are investigating the death of 12-year-old Mercedes Cabrera Lane, whose body was discovered in a forested area in Carapal, Erin, on Sunday morning. The St. Francis Erin RC primary school pupil was reported missing on Saturday after she failed to arrive home in Los Iros. Relatives alerted police, triggering a search involving officers and members of the Hunters Search and Rescue Team. The search ended tragically when a villager found the child's body in a wooded area. Crime scene investigators are now working to determine the circumstances surrounding her death. The discovery has shocked residents of the southwestern community, where many had been hoping for her safe return. Defense Minister Wayne Sturge says Trinidad and Tobago can be governed without a state of emergency, but not at this time. On Sunday, Sturge said significant gains have been made against gang activity, illegal firearms, and drug trafficking, but more time is needed to strengthen national security efforts. The minister said he personally supports a further 3-month extension of the state of emergency, which is due to expire on June 17th, although the final decision rests with the National Security Council. Sturge also claimed authorities have disrupted the flow of cocaine and illegal guns into the country, dismantled criminal networks linked to the URP, and restricted the ability of gang leaders to operate from prison. He maintained that while crime remains a concern, statistics show violent crime has declined significantly. Independent Senator Anthony Vieira says the government must provide evidence if it intends to seek another extension of the state of emergency. Speaking outside Parliament, Vieira said the government now has a burden to prove why the measure remains necessary, arguing that citizens' constitutional rights and freedoms should be the norm, while a state of emergency should remain the exception. Independent Senator Marlene Atz said she expects the government to pursue an extension, noting that crime remains a major concern despite emergency measures already in place. Meanwhile, opposition Senator Faris Al-Rawi said there may be legal grounds to challenge the use of a state of emergency as a crime-fighting tool, arguing that such powers were traditionally intended for extraordinary situations such as natural disasters and other national crises. The current state of emergency is scheduled to expire on June 17th unless extended by Parliament. Contract workers at the National Commission for Self-Help Limited are being sent home as the organization undertakes a restructuring exercise. Media reports state that several employees have already received letters advising that their contracts will not be renewed, with more workers expected to be affected in the coming weeks. Sources claim some long-serving employees are losing their jobs while newer hires remain employed, raising concerns about the process. Workers also say they were not informed beforehand about any restructuring plans. The commission, which falls under the Office of the Prime Minister, employs 53 people and receives an annual allocation of $25 million. Chief Executive Officer Lester Liu said he was unable to comment when contacted by Guardian Media. The Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago has written to Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar requesting a meeting over concerns about media access to government events. Matt says journalists have on several occasions not been notified about ministry-hosted functions using state resources, limiting the media's ability to report on government activities. The association stressed that it does not consider the media to be under threat by the current administration and says access to ministers has generally been forthcoming. However, Matt maintains that the media must be allowed to scrutinize all arms of government and has also noted that the Prime Minister has not attended a formal post-cabinet news conference in about a year. The association says it hopes to discuss these concerns directly with the Prime Minister, but has not yet received a response to its request. Finally, a fragile ceasefire between Israel and Iran is under renewed strain after Iran launched missile strikes toward northern Israel, prompting warnings of possible retaliation. Iran said the attacks targeted military sites and were in response to what it described as repeated violations of the ceasefire by Israel and the United States. Israel's military said it is prepared to respond and will strike if ordered to do so. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump is urging restraint, saying he has asked Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu not to retaliate as negotiations on a broader agreement with Iran continue. International leaders, including Britain's Foreign Secretary, have called for immediate de-escalation to prevent a wider regional conflict. And that is NETT Radio News at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the NETT Radio Breakfast Show.
How are you? Yeah. Hey, I know it up. Give me the work with the work, yeah. Give me the work with the work now. Give me the work with the work now. Now, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for it. Boss lady, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. And I go work it properly. I wanna sign my signature, cross my T's, cause I have all the requirements that you need. My resume flawless, suitable, diverse, reliable. If you're hiring, I just want to go to work. Boss lady, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for it. Boss lady, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. And I go work it properly. You say I have a vacancy, I go be number one employee. I aim to please, guaranteed. I fit and ready. Alright, yeah, well equipped. The structure, and time in it. This economy, I've been looking for work, boss lady. I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for it. Boss lady, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. Sign me up, I come for this work. I never walk it properly. So put a walk in front of me, and I go get in right away. I'm gonna put me back in it. For your walking properly. So put a walk in front of me, and I go come in right away. And let me put me back in it. And I go walk in properly.
Just got that. You're locked into NETT Radio Breakfast Show. Fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Give me the work with the work, yeah. Give me the work with the work, yeah. Give me the work with the work, now. Down. I come for this work. Sign me up. I come for this work.
Yeah. You come for the work. We signing you up.
I come for it.
We signing you up. Yeah.
I come for this work.
Everybody, good morning to you once again, and welcome inside the second hour. And yes, it is the breakfast show right here on NETT Radio, the breakfast show, Monday to Friday. Wendell Stephen, Richard Raghubar singing, and of course yours truly, Sir Charles. We keep you company, and we do it in fine style, yeah? To the Anthem crew, good morning to all the folks that came in very early, those of you that came in along the way. We do appreciate your company, and we thank you so much for joining us. To the people on Gaia Caribbean TV, well, thank you so much also for sharing your time and being in this space, right? All right, so Father's Day is coming up, so we got our pop-up Father's Day promotion that we will start on Wednesday, just after the 8 o'clock news. So all you have to do is, go back and listen to the jingle. Get up, raise up, wind up, the breakfast show is here. Put your own little twist it, and who knows? You could just win yourself some fantastic things coming down just before Father's Day, which is like next week, next weekend. The Friday's a holiday too, so we'll be doing that draw probably this Thursday. So go check out the jingle and be part of it, okay? Also, look out for football starts this week, and of course we have our highlights that we'll be playing for you throughout the day. So look out for our football highlights for you football fans. Yeah, the game the world plays. And of course, don't forget also to like, subscribe, and follow all our channels, right? Whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and especially go check out TikTok. We need your support on TikTok. NETT Radio Trinidad, those are the handles. And also on all of your smart devices, just give them that command. Alexa, play NETT Radio Trinidad, whether you're on TuneIn, also on Radio Garden, Simple Radio, MyTuner, online radio box. You're getting us on all of those streaming platforms at NETT Radio Trinidad, okay? So our morning poll, do you believe that we have serial killers in Trinidad and Tobago? Do you believe that we have that? Well, 1 if you're voting yes, 2 if you're voting no. And when we come back, we'll tell you how you voted, right? So stay with us on The Breakfast Show.
Get ready.
The road to football's biggest stage starts right here on NETT Radio and Gaia TV. Join us for Inside the Net, the road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights. Every weekday, take a journey through World Cup history, legendary players, unforgettable goals, football's greatest nations, rising stars, iconic stadiums, and the stories behind the beautiful game. From Brazil to Argentina, Germany to France, and every nation chasing football glory. Join us daily at 7:55 a.m. and 11:55 a.m. Don't just watch the World Cup, live the passion. Inside the Net, road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Daybay, 95 Circular Road, Vistabella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2 Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist, Dr. Raj Ramnanan, for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Gaylan and the Ultimate DJ Shane presents the Reggae Ride 26. A touch of red, white, gold, and green. Come out with your crew. Represent your color. Get ready for pure reggae vibes on June 27th on Board the Harbour Master. Born in 11 p.m. and sailing at midnight. For over 20 years, the Reggae Ride has delivered the best reggae experience. Music by DJ Damien, Ever Slick, DJ Junior, Gaylan, and the Ultimate DJ Shane. Get your advance tickets, only $250 at Agard's Nuts House and City Furniture Stores nationwide or on islandnytickets.com.
Remember the song used to make you rock away. Those were the days.
Powered by Agard's Nuts House, City Furniture, Tokopia Hotel and Lounge, Cricket Land Academy. The Reggae Ride 26, a touch of red, white, gold, and green.
Just a little bit longer, baby. Oh, my love keeps growing stronger.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the breakfast show. Of course, we inside the second hour, and it's our time check for you. 18 minutes it is after the hour of 7 o'clock on this Monday morning. Yeah.
All kinds of interesting people that live right around your neighborhood, like the postman and the policeman.
Hey, did you order these groceries here?
Oh, hi there. Yes, as a matter of fact, I did.
Yeah, these are your groceries.
Have you got everything I ordered?
No.
How about the parsley?
No, we didn't have the parsley.
Oh, you didn't have the parsley.
No, we brought some other stuff instead, though.
What'd you bring instead?
Well, let's see. I brought some Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.
Yes, and I got some turnip greens.
Turnip greens?
I got some kale.
Kale?
Yes, we were having a big sale on kale.
Oh, big kale sale.
You've heard about it.
I've heard about it.
Yes, indeed. Well, I brought you a lot of that.
Hey, listen, I was just talking about some of the people that lived around our neighborhood. And,
you were?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Long as you look sort of like, a grocer, one of those people around the neighborhood, why don't we do that song about the people in your neighborhood?
Well, I'd rather not, actually.
Oh, come on. It's a nice song.
Well, okay, but you start off.
All right, I'll start off. Well, now... who are the people in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? Say, who are the people in your neighborhood? The people that you meet each day. As long as you look like the grocer, why don't you tell us what a grocer does?
Okay.
All right?
Oh, a grocer sells the things you eat, like cereal and cheese and meat. Whatever food you're looking for, you're sure to find it in my store.
Because a grocer is a person in your neighborhood.
In your neighborhood.
He's in your neighborhood.
A grocer is a person in your neighborhood. A person that you meet each day.
Well, nice to see you. Oh, I know who you are.
Yeah, hi, Bob.
You're the doctor, right?
Yeah. Oh, a doctor works the whole day long to keep you feeling well and strong. But if by chance you're feeling sick, I'll try to make you well real quick.
Because a doctor is a person in your neighborhood.
In your neighborhood.
He's in your neighborhood.
And a grocer is a person in your neighborhood.
You tell him, grocer, the people that you meet
when you're walking down the street, they're the people that you meet each day.
Yeah. And it is be street break there.
Yes. People in your neighborhood, boy. I miss Sesame Street, you know. If it's one thing I miss from my childhood growing up, it's Sesame Street. One program that I miss.
Yeah.
And Little House on the Prairie. That was the next family-oriented movie.
Yeah.
But a series, it was a TV series.
Series, yeah. So, family-oriented series. But we barely had movies back then. Everything was a series, eh?
No, you had movies that used to go to school and see. Yeah. You'd have outings from primary school to go and see movies.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go to Windsor. Windsor is nothing like it is now, of course. It was a cinema. And they had these row of steps to climb.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm told you that's
only had one or two cinemas in Arima, that's it, right?
It was that on Princess Cinema.
Yeah.
So Princess Cinema was more run down up to two. Then Princess Cinema changed names. I can't remember what it was called afterwards. It had changed name. We had upgraded it a bit. It was a terrible cinema. When it was Princess, all the seats were, and I swear you could have seen, sometimes when you were sitting down, because it had pit and it had house back in those days.
Mm-hmm. And
when you were in house, sometimes if you go to the front of house, there's a kind of little balcony that separates you from pit, right?
Yeah.
A little wall.
Right.
And I swear, sometimes when I was close to that, which I used to go on that cinema, I used to see a family of cockroaches going on an outing to find food. Walking along the balcony going, I swear you used to see something. And sometimes the chairs were dilapidated. It was terrible. And then it was upgraded and it became another name. I can't remember what the name is. Somebody in the stream would know. But Windsor was the bigger one, which is where KFC is now. And it's called KFC Windsor.
Oh, all right.
And Pizza Hut Windsor in Arima.
I don't think I've ever been in a cinema in Arima.
Yeah, but it was a cinema, and that was the cinema to go to. I know there was a time in cinema where, that time cinema was much more of an outing. Still is kind of, but
Mm-hmm.
And I remember at schools you used to go, and I remember we went to see the 10 Commandments, because we are a Catholic school. And I told you this story, and on the line when some boy grabbed my ticket, everybody holding the ticket excitedly, and somebody grabbed my ticket and run. And I was devastated.
So you didn't run behind them?
No, I started to cry. And a little boy, I was like 5 or 6.
I could envisage, I could see you crying now. and snap running on your nose, I think. I could just see it,
Yeah, I was traumatized. I was so looking forward to seeing the 10 Commandments. And there I am. Everybody's going up with their ticket and you have none because somebody thieved. But I think the teacher just went and bought one and brought it back for me.
Yeah.
But for you, it's like the entire world and universe has collapsed. You don't know how to solve this problem as a 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So the culprit wasn't part of the wasn't going to see the show also.
I think it was. I don't know. I can't remember. I think it was a boy in a bigger form, or something like that. Just grabbed. Maybe it wasn't only my ticket he grabbed.
I wonder how he fared after that. How he fared? Because you can't interfere with an acolyte, and get away.
Not only that, it's 10 Commandments you're going to watch. How disconnected are you from the universe?
Hold on. Folks, we have to provide you with a light moment. But just going back to this issue of who in your neighborhood, I'll tell you something. That was also part of local government reform. Local government reform, I remember when it started, local government reform had so many good intentions that nothing happened. We were tasked with the responsibility of knowing, as local government councillors, who are the people in the neighborhood and making a list of it, collecting the data. Local government people were in fact still are in fact the best people to collect this sort of data so that you could know who are the people in your neighborhood. And we did it. We had embarked on an exercise. I think that was under Mrs. Hazel Manning. Embarked on that exercise to getting to know exactly street by street who were the people living there. And it all fell flat. I don't think any councillor right now could say exactly who living in the neighborhood. They don't, most of them don't care. The few who care, some of them may know, but they may not know everybody. But most of them just there collecting the stipend on a mountain. They do it, some of them powerless to do anything. But that is the direction local government reform was going in and should have continued going in. But I have to back off a local government, just in case all they don't know it.
No, we know it long time.
It had so much potential, and reform, election after election. And then what? Nothing. While you talk, let me drink my coffee.
All right, poll time. So let's go back to the poll. So do you believe that there are serial killers in this country?
Yeah, that's our poll. Do you believe Trinidad and Tobago may have serial killers? Yes or no? Of course, we have all seen the movies with serial killers and so on. We've all watched Criminal Minds. We've all watched NCIS. We've all watched CSI. Do you believe we may have that? Yes or no? Lots of votes on it.
Tell us what you think. 2811
call us and tell us what you think.
995156. You can tell us what you think and why you're thinking it also. Yeah. And why did you do that? Any comments on the poll, Wendell?
Lots of chats, lots of comments. Let me go back to the thing. Yes, Ingrid, Waltons was certainly a good movie too back in the day.
That was the good night. The one guys we have more that used to end with good night.
Yeah, good night, John Boy. Good night, Susie. Mary J. Good night, Mary Jo, I think it was. And all the different, everybody had a double barrel name. Yeah.
Hello, good morning, caller.
Good morning, guys. Yes, I believe we have more than one serial killer.
Yeah.
Loose and I don't know if you all remember, maybe about 4 years ago, they found more than one woman wrapped in plastic. Manzanilla, then I think in Brazil, in the back of Arima, South Arima. It was maybe about 4 women at different times, but they were all dumped in rivers and they were wrapped in plastic.
Oh?
Yeah, I think I remember that situation.
You remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
They're more than one, and of course, we have Boise Singh being the grandfather of all of them.
Yeah. Thanks very much, caller. Yeah.
What I had observed is that a lot of the young girls who were being killed all had a certain look, all had a size and a look. And that's when I came up with that theory back then, way back then. And they were all raped.
I feel we do, but I don't even think some of them even have any particular set pattern. Does the pattern make you serial, or is this you just killing multiple people?
Has the police commissioner addressed anything yet on this? Is he still putting people on maxis? Has he addressed this situation? Has anybody addressed this situation since? Anybody in high office or low office?
Address what?
This latest situation with this with this girl.
You mean mentioned it, you mean?
Yeah.
Not that I have heard. Neither current government or opposition has mentioned anything as far as I'm aware.
No. Penelope Beckers-Robinson said something.
Oh,
she did
okay.
issue a release on it.
I wasn't aware.
Yeah, she did issue a release on it. She's the only politician so far I've seen said thing.
I didn't see an actual statement, but I saw something in the newspaper where the MP for the area was visiting the family, which is Clyde Elder.
Clyde Elder, I saw that too. Clyde Elder also visited the family.
So
yes, you're right. You're right, Sir Charles. That's
well, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, to the panel there.
Morning.
Do you believe we have serial killers in this country?
Well, I just think, the serial killers, people who have a certain kind of deviance and so on. What I could say is that it seems that we have contract killers, because many of the footages I see of some of the murders and things were captured on camera. Some of the people look the same, like the same person. They're tall, slim. The way how they approach the car, shoot, run away. You follow? And it's obvious, if we have 500 murders, we're not looking for 500 killers. Right? One person must kill about 20 to 30 people. Right? So I wouldn't say serial killer, but I'm certain we are contract killers. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that could be a question someday too, because he might be right. Yeah. We still taking your calls on this or poll. Do you believe Trinidad and Tobago may have serial killers? Yes or no? All right. So we have heard from Penelope Beckers-Robinson. We have we are aware that Clyde Elder also visited the family, but is that people hoping these stories go away? We are bombarded now with stories. I'm telling you, and my post yesterday was Trinidad and Tobago is in a tailspin.
Yeah, I think two or three persons they say is in custody, helping out the police with the investigation.
Really?
And that's as much as I've heard about it already. But it just waking up to some real sad news yesterday and hearing that and reading about it and stuff. I mean, it just take a whole different tone on the weekend because of that whole situation. But nobody is, children are not safe, and people going to all extents, to take their lives. It's so sad. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Sir Charles, Wendell, and Richard.
Bishop.
I think what's happening with the population is so much murders are happening, they're confused with the type of murders there. All right? You had organ harvesting, right? Which the police had found a container in Castlefield at one time where they were doing this operation and taking the organ and dumping the bodies. Right? So you had that. Then you have generational curse where the police and the priests and the leaders mounting people and killing people and offering sacrifices to businessmen and the politicians. So you had that. But I say we have serial killers. Where one man killing 10 people and 5 persons. Trinidad don't have that kind of killing. What we have is human sacrifice and organ harvesting. Those are the two major issues they come into.
Bishop, Bishop,
Yeah.
Bishop, are you hearing me? I could buy the organ harvesting thing, right? Because that happens worldwide, right? What this human sacrificing? How does that work? How I've been hearing that here too, but how does that work? How does how killing someone, an innocent child, works in terms of a human sacrifice? To what benefit?
Because the organs are bought at they're very expensive on the U.S. market for people with big money. They're looking for organs that are not damaged. In other words, they want an old man organ. They're looking for young organs, heart, kidneys, and all the other organs that they can harvest, and they get good prices for it. It's a connection with the cartels. The police have done a whole issue on that, you know.
No, that's what I say. I understand the organ harvesting part of it. I understand that. You don't need to explain that. But the human sacrifice part to benefit something or someone. How does that work?
Let me tell you something. People go to spiritual leaders for many different things. And in so doing, they sacrifice human beings for material things. In other words, you offer blood sacrifice, and then that blood sacrifice, you have to continue that blood sacrifice. And to continue that blood sacrifice, you use human beings. And that is nothing new for spiritual people. The carnal mind would not understand what I'm speaking about as a priest. But I am telling you, the human sacrifice is more prevalent in the society today than it was in the past. Because even the politicians and all are getting involved in human sacrifice for political reasons. And they're sacrificing, they want the blood for the gods. Right? They want the blood for the gods. And big money. I'm not talking by guess. I'm talking as a priest and from my experience. You look at the gang leaders. The gang leaders are mounting their blocks, using seals on the gang leaders to kill. Why? Because they have mounted the block with blood. And those guys wake up in the morning and all they want to do is kill somebody. That's all they want to do. They're not going to be content until they kill somebody. So the enemy comes around at all, he's dead. You want to leave, you're dead. And that's one of the major issues that are affecting us in the country with crime. The spiritual intervention in the mountain of the blocks, putting seal on these young men. So these young men are mounted to kill daily. And the state is aware of it. There was a lieutenant from the army who was in the program who actually gave them an example of a young man who was in the program. He had to do consultation with him, who was saying to him, when the night comes, I can't sleep because I want to kill somebody. He came out of the program, but he lasted about 3 weeks and he was dead because he wanted to leave the gang. So that is one of the major issues today in our gang culture. Spiritual intervention by spiritual leaders and pundits. They're getting big money, mount the gang. Police going in and can't lock up nobody because everybody has seals on them. And that is a fact. That is not no opinion of mine. As a spiritual leader, we are telling the government that they're not listening, that they cannot deal with crime unless they deal with that mounting and the spiritual blocks. And I know Alexander is aware of that. But his mother was a spiritual Baptist. He's aware. Them guys have seals on them. Them guys have seals on them. You can't touch them, you know. You can't find them to start with. Why they can't find them? And we are telling them that we in the South Baptist community, your man called me to ask me if I could do, if I could quiet somebody.
What do you mean by that?
If I could quiet somebody. I said, well, I have matters in the court. I have matters in the court. And me quieting the judge. Why I want to quiet somebody for you? Because anytime I dip my hand into iniquity, I have to continue to dip my hand into iniquity.
Yeah, it's no turning back from that.
To my soul. what is happening to my soul. So if you believe in hell and heaven, you will know you can protect your soul. This body is going to go down to the dirt. It's going to go back to the elements. The soul goes back to God if it's clean. And your spirit, wait until the coming of Christ. So I'm making sure I protect my soul from evil forces because I am not dipping my hand as a spiritual leader for nobody. But who wants to dip their hand? Go right ahead. Brother, you wouldn't like to see some of these leaders this fast. You have to go and release them you have to go in the hospital and release them, because they can't do it. This is not a joke. I am talking from my experience as a priest. I'm an 80-year-old man. I could be 81 in August. I am no longer involved in spiritual activities as I used to be, but I am seeing, and I'm lying in my bed, and I'm seeing things, and I'm telling them what I'm seeing, but they're ignoring me. What else to hear? Let them hear.
Thanks, Bishop. Thanks, Bishop. You know what? I want to tell her of an experience I had. I've told it before, but I'm going to tell it again in light of what Bishop just said, because he is so absolutely right. I'll tell you something. When I was robbed in St. James years ago, this was happened years ago, when the guy pointed the gun at my head and shot the guy in the car with me, the person in the car with me. I was told that the person who did that is well known. He was a former soldier and he was from a certain part, and his mother was a Baptist woman and she had him mount. That's the words they used to me, that he mounted in a Wendell. Your car, you could do about your cat. So, you know me, back in the day, I was advised to go and see this lady. And I went and I saw this lady. I'm telling all you a true story here. I went and see this lady. I remember where the lady was in San Juan. I never go in that area, in the back road there, and drive through. And the lady she was living in that area. And I was taken to that lady. And that lady is also a Baptist. And she started to pray with me and so on. Of course, I am oblivious to what's going on, right? And then at the end of it, all she told me is, don't worry. Don't worry, all will be well. In less than 2 weeks, that guy was dead. I had to go and identify his body at the morgue in St. James. First time I ever went in the morgue. Yeah, why put me up on Center Street? So
yes, tell me that story.
The first time
the chatty storytelling.
No, this is an actual true story. I would leave out parts for obvious reasons, but I'm telling you, that guy, they used to call him Yapo, I think, or something so. And they said he was mounted by his mother and nobody could touch him. He was doing this thing. And I went to another lady who I didn't know, also a Baptist lady. And she told me, don't worry, everything in 2 weeks' time. And that guy, I went to identify his body at the morgue with a slug straight in the center of his head. How he was killed, I don't know. I didn't ask anything. The police just called me and say, listen, the guy who robbed you, I think he's at the morgue, visit the morgue so time. And I went in, I peeped, and I walked back out. I say, yes, that's him. And I was the end of that. So I could relate to what Bishop is saying.
Yeah, you're right.
And I've heard so many stories.
What you are saying is that you were an accomplice in a spiritual unmounting, so that somebody will get their due rewards, so to speak, in inverted commas. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is that whoever mounted him didn't do a good enough job when he met me. After he met me, that was it. He meets somebody who more protected than he was. That's what happened. Don't put that sense away.
So you are diminishing the fact that the woman in Sawa was a key to clicking whatever needed to be clicked to unmount him.
No, I'm not saying that. The lady, all I know is powerful. I can tell you. I can tell you, the lady in Sawa didn't do no simini, didn't light no candle, nothing. She just prayed with me, and she said, "Don't worry." That's all.
After you leave,
yeah.
You don't know what she liked after you leave.
It's true. I don't know.
Hold 1 minute there, guys. Hold on. Call it good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Lincoln. Go ahead.
Right. So you know when these religious people call you, they just activate me. Right? I want to know what happened. But Richard, I was listening on the phone. So I don't know if I think I can't believe you was there to hear all of that. I will leave it there.
Anyway. But I said nothing. I just listened.
Okay, I know why. But these religious people.
Richard come from the kings of mountain and protected, you know. Richard come from Catholicism, you know. He had nothing more powerful than that, you know. Don't get tired, you know.
No. I understand Richard. Richard is the way he is because exactly for that reason, because he come from it and he know how it is. Right? Anyway, I digress. These religious people come from the same root as police. In order to make themselves relevant, it's the devil, it's spiritual warfare, and we need them for help. Hear what I don't understand about everything that the bishop just said there. Where is your God in everything that you said here? You seem to manifest and bring alive every evil demonic thing in the whole thing. Everything is the devil and wickedness and evil. Where is your God in the matrix of everything that he spoke about here? You notice he ain't talking about God. All he could tell you about is the devil and necromancy and the evilness and all kind of things, but he can't talk about God.
No. Lincoln. No. You're being unfair to Bishop Philip. He was speaking about his experience, but he has never dabbled in it. Don't go down that road with it.
I'm speaking to what he spoke about. He spoke about the crime in the country has to do with evil practice and another problem is he continuously mentioning Hindus. There are a lot of
where did he say that?
Thing too. Richard, we're not a little here, but a little listening. He mentioned Hindu twice in his speech.
Okay.
Right? And there are a lot of other religions that practices these things. Right? Whether it's true or it's not true, I find he will only identify Hindus. Right?
So you believe other religions practice it too?
But you just say you went by a Baptist or people.
All right, so I'm asking you. You
didn't need to ask me that. You just said that.
No, listen, Lincoln, tell us of your experience. Don't tell us of what you're hearing other people saying. What is your experience with it?
I don't believe in none of them foolishness.
All right.
Evil people exist anywhere you go. Evil people, the most evil people that have in the world is Christians and Christianity.
Look, you attacking people now.
All the serial killers that had in the world were Christian people.
But look how you attacking people now.
I am not attacking people, I'm stating a fact. So there are evil people in every single denomination that you could find. Muslims have terrorists and serial killers and people who strap a bomb to themselves and kill people. Right? Every denomination has evil people. It is not the religion.
It's for human beings, Lincoln.
Well, that's what he's saying. He's saying it's not the religion, it's the people. People are monsters, and regardless of whatever their affiliation is. Some people are just monsters. They have a psychological issue. They feel no empathy. They're sociopaths.
And we cannot blame the religion for their evilness.
Mm-hmm. No.
I agree with that.
And you know, when you have faith, and I know a lot of the people listening are faithful in terms of whatever religion they believe in, and whatever deity they believe in. And I know, Sir Charles and you, Wendell, of course, I know you all are religious, but more religious than me. And I think Sir Charles is probably the most religious of the three of us.
Yes. I have had experience with too many demons. Trust me.
Yeah. So, but you know, from a logical perspective, and if you could ever be logical about God and the intervention of God in the affairs of man, if you could ever be logical, and I'm saying God as the umbrella name, regardless of whatever religion you ascribe to, how can a God and as I say, I am giving human logic to God. How can a God who can intervene according to man's belief when he needs to, because prayer is asking for the intervention of God. And people say, oh, God answered my prayers. Oh my God, thank you, God, because God has intervened. And that's what we believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
From a human logical point of view, how can a God that exists and has the power of intervention not have intervened in the murder of Mercedes Lee?
I know, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know that religious people will justify it and say, oh, you can't question God, and God has a bigger plan.
A bigger plan, yes. Yes.
That's where they go.
Yes. And God saved her from more evil down the road. Yes. Yeah,
so people a lot of the times are willing to give God a free pass.
Mm-hmm.
And say, we trust that your judgment in allowing this to happen is for some ultimate good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a justification. It's like you're giving a pass to the UNC because you're a UNC fanatic, or you're giving a pass to the PNM no matter what they do. You say, I believe that what decision they make is for the betterment of the country. It's the same kind of thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that we call it faith.
But even though you can't understand why a God will do that, well then, what do you feel will make it happen? Why do you feel it's happening?
Not why a God will do that, you know. Why a God will stop that from happening.
Yeah, why? So if you can't understand why a God would allow certain things to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Why he would not intervene. That's why I prefaced it with saying that human beings who are religious believe that God does intervene.
Mm-hmm.
Hence you pray. Because you pray for God's intervention in man's affairs, your affairs. So God, please let me get that job. I'm going up for the interview today. God, please help me to win the lotto. God, please help me to open this tin of corned beef because the key break. Oh God, how am I going to open it? God, help me, please. Whatever your little prayer to God, because some prayers are irrelevant. I mean, not irrelevant. They're simple. They're simple.
You can't say irrelevant, no?
But I mean, they're simple. Vis-a-vis somebody saying in Lebanon, God, please don't let my neighborhood be bombed. Vis-a-vis somebody break the key in the corn and saying, oh God, please help me, how am I going to open this tin? The man coming home just now. How does God evaluate? Does he say, the person in Lebanon have a little bit more importance than you and your corned beef tin, you know? I'm using human logic in terms of how we look at the intervention of God in man's affairs. So Charles, I acknowledge, because I'm human, that I'm going to use human logic against a logic that defies logic, at least defies human logic. But if God can intervene and prayer is indicative of the intervention of God, why didn't he intervene?
Yeah, well, I said that.
I know it's a question that cannot be answered.
Yeah.
But these are the things that, you know, you ponder.
Yeah.
Well,
but folks, apparently people not seeing the poll results, so let's give it now because it's on the screen. But let's give it for the people who not seen it.
Yeah.
We asked if do you believe that there are serial killers in Trinidad and Tobago. 84% of you said yes. 16% said no. 84% said yes. 16% said no. All right, so that would satisfy the folks who are not seeing it on the screen, right? 84 said yes, 16% said no. But we're having a very deep, could be sometimes dark discussion this morning. But let's continue.
Caller, good morning. Hold on there, guys. Right. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Morning, we all right.
Yeah. Interesting discussion. I don't really get into the I don't really go into faith and think too much with people and things because I have a whole different perspective on it, right? Just like Mr. Raghubar saying. So I was Christian and Anglican, grew up Anglican right through, you know what I mean? Both mother and father and thing. But my thing is that as I get older, I remember during confirmation class, I would have asked the rector then, he's deceased now, I asked him, who made God?
That was after we coming down to the end, and you had the little quizzes in the preparation, and they asked you questions from the New Testament and so on to see if you prepare and thing. So after you get pronounced, all of us ready and so on for the confirmation. He said, anybody have any questions to ask? And that was my question. I asked him who made God. And I was 12 years old, and he didn't want that. Well, he got perturbed. And why somebody would ask that question? I think after drinking, suddenly, that was always me. You know what I mean? And I didn't think it was a unreasonable question that we shouldn't be able to answer, or answer in some way to get some understanding. You know what I mean? And that's when I realized, I say, you know what, this blind following and thing is not for me. So I started to do more research, and I looked at agnosticism. And I come to realize that over years, I'm an agnostic Anglican, meaning that while I'm involved in the church because of the historical antecedents of my family being in it, I really believe that nobody could know God. Nobody could know we man in our imperfect and carnal state could never know God. So, and from henceforth, that is my religious grounding. So I have a personal relationship with the Almighty Father. I will pray for wherever and so on and things. But it is not colored by any doctrine or any allegiance blindly to any kind of faith. You know what I'm saying? And for me, when I always hear people talk about, religious discussion and all the fervent thing, I is just like, okay, all right, that is you. And I remember that time somebody asked me, are you saved? I say, yeah, I was born saved. No, I mean, are you saved? And I just leave them with that.
Are you born again?
Yeah. No, I just leave them alone. From the time you ask me, if you're saved, I know you're going on, and I just tell them, actually, I'm an atheist. So I find that when you tell them that, they leave you alone. Yeah, they leave you alone. Put right away from here. So for me, it's easy as that. You know what I mean? But I just reflecting on what is to come in the media review, right? And I recall that what was said with respect to the supplementation, that was clearly told to us during the campaign last year by Dr. Rowley and so on. And then I reflected on the new taxes that would come, right? The new hikes on various charges and so on. And I said, but wait, weren't these the same people, along with Victor Roberts, going all over the place in 2024 when the RIC was having confrontations about just thinking about the increasing electricity rates? And I am watching comments below and saying how people, on social media have told them the announcement was made. And people saying, well, yeah, so how they going to raise the money? You know what I mean? They had to do something because it's 9.5 years PLM paying we in debt and they ain't doing nothing. I say, wow, my fellow Trinbagonians will never cease to amaze me. And that's why I say, I have the approach of take everything one day at a time and take people on face value. I start them off at 100% until they start to make it depreciate. Thanks a lot, gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks. Good attitude. Good attitude. I subscribe to that. But let me tell you something. The guy who apparently was arrested on a PDO for using obscene and cussing this one and cussing that one and insulting the Hindus, apparently he felt sick. If you see the comments on that about who do what to him because how he cussed them and I said, Trinidadians,
yeah.
Why do I do radio? Why do I have to read these things or follow up these things to do radio? I don't know why.
That's not Trinidadians, that's human beings.
Yeah, it's human nature.
Jeez.
You understand? So let's hope that nothing befalls anybody who was bad talking the Creator this morning. Coming back.
Welcome to Inside the Net
on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
Our daily insights as we count down the journey to FIFA World Cup 2026. Here is today's insight.
For nearly a century, the FIFA World Cup has brought together nations, cultures, and billions of football fans from around the globe. But in 2026, the world's biggest sporting event will make history once again. For the first time ever, 48 nations will compete for football's most coveted prize, expanding the tournament beyond anything seen before. The FIFA World Cup 2026 will be hosted by 3 countries, the United States, Canada, and Mexico, making it the first World Cup to be shared by 3 nations. From the iconic Estadio Azteca in Mexico City to state-of-the-art stadiums across North America, fans will witness football on an unprecedented scale. Millions will fill the stadiums. Billions will watch from around the world. And for many nations, this expanded tournament offers a historic opportunity to compete on football's biggest stage. The 2026 tournament will feature more teams, more matches, more cities, and more stories than any World Cup before it. New nations will dream of glory. Football giants will seek to add another star to their legacy, and legendary players may be making one final attempt to lift the famous trophy. For fans, the journey is about more than football. It is about national pride, passion, hope, and unforgettable moments that become part of sporting history. Over the coming weeks, Inside the Net will explore the teams, players, records, legends, stadiums, and stories that have made the FIFA World Cup the greatest sporting event on Earth. The countdown to the 2026 tournament has officially begun. The road to football glory starts now. This has been Inside the Net, Road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights. Join us again for another World Cup Insight as we continue the journey to football's biggest stage.
You've been listening to Inside the Net as we count down the journey to FIFA World Cup 2026 on New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now on NETT Radio and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. We begin with tragic news. Police are investigating the death of 12-year-old Mercedes Cabrera Lane, whose body was discovered in a forested area in Carapal Aaron on Sunday morning. The St. Francis Aaron RC primary school pupil was reported missing on Saturday after she failed to arrive home in Los Iros. Relatives alerted police, triggering a search involving officers and members of the Hunters Search and Rescue Team. The search ended tragically when a villager found the child's body in a wooded area. Crime scene investigators are now working to determine the circumstances surrounding her death. The discovery has shocked residents of the southwestern community, where many had been hoping for her safe return. Defense Minister Wayne Sturge says Trinidad and Tobago can be governed without a state of emergency, but not at this time. On Sunday, Sturge said significant gains have been made against gang activity, illegal firearms, and drug trafficking, but more time is needed to strengthen national security efforts. The minister said he personally supports a further 3-month extension of the state of emergency, which is due to expire on June 17th, although the final decision rests with the National Security Council. Sturge also claimed authorities have disrupted the flow of cocaine and illegal guns into the country, dismantled criminal networks linked to the URP, and restricted the ability of gang leaders to operate from prison. He maintained that while crime remains a concern, statistics show violent crime has declined significantly. Independent Senator Anthony Vieira says the government must provide evidence if it intends to seek another extension of the state of emergency. Speaking outside Parliament, Vieira said the government now has a burden to prove why the measure remains necessary, arguing that citizens' constitutional rights and freedoms should be the norm, while a state of emergency should remain the exception. Independent Senator Marlene Att said she expects the government to pursue an extension, noting that crime remains a major concern despite emergency measures already in place. Meanwhile, opposition Senator Faris Al-Rawi said there may be legal grounds to challenge the use of a state of emergency as a crime-fighting tool, arguing that such powers were traditionally intended for extraordinary situations such as natural disasters and other national crises. The current state of emergency is scheduled to expire on June 17th unless extended by Parliament. Contract workers at the National Commission for Self-Help Limited are being sent home as the organization undertakes a restructuring exercise. Media reports state that several employees have already received letters advising that their contracts will not be renewed, with more workers expected to be affected in the coming weeks. Sources claim some long-serving employees are losing their jobs, while newer hires remain employed, raising concerns about the process. Workers also say they were not informed beforehand about any restructuring plans. The commission, which falls under the Office of the Prime Minister, employs 53 people and receives an annual allocation of $25 million. Chief Executive Officer Lester Liu said he was unable to comment when contacted by Guardian Media. The Media Association of Trinidad and Tobago has written to Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar requesting a meeting over concerns about media access to government events. Matt says journalists have on several occasions not been notified about ministry-hosted functions using state resources, limiting the media's ability to report on government activities. The association stressed that it does not consider the media to be under threat by the current administration and says access to ministers has generally been forthcoming. However, Matt maintains that the media must be allowed to scrutinize all arms of government and has also noted that the Prime Minister has not attended a formal post-cabinet news conference in about a year. The association says it hopes to discuss these concerns directly with the Prime Minister, but has not yet received a response to its request. Finally, a fragile ceasefire between Israel and Iran is under renewed strain after Iran launched missile strikes toward northern Israel, prompting warnings of possible retaliation. Iran said the attacks targeted military sites and were in response to what it described as repeated violations of the ceasefire by Israel and the United States. Israel's military said it is prepared to respond and will strike if ordered to do so. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump is urging restraint, saying he has asked Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu not to retaliate as negotiations on a broader agreement with Iran continue. International leaders, including Britain's Foreign Secretary, have called for immediate de-escalation to prevent a wider regional conflict. And that is NETT Radio News at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with new Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Get ready. The road to football's biggest stage starts right here on NETT Radio and Guile TV. Join us for Inside the Net, the road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights. Every weekday, take a journey through World Cup history, legendary players, unforgettable goals, football's greatest nations, rising stars, iconic stadiums, and the stories behind the beautiful game. From Brazil to Argentina, Germany to France, and every nation chasing football glory. Join us daily at 7:55 a.m. and 11:55 a.m. Don't just watch the World Cup, live the passion. Inside the Net, road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Day Bay, 95 Circular Road, Vista Bella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2 Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnanan for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
Gaylan and the ultimate DJ Shane presents the Reggae Ride 26.
Them still want more.
A touch of red, white, gold, and green. Come out with your crew. Represent your color. Get ready for pure reggae vibes on June 27th on board the Harbour Master. Born in 11 p.m. and sailing at midnight. For over 20 years, the Reggae Ride has delivered the best reggae experience. Music by DJ Damien, Ever Slick, DJ Junior, Gaylan, and the ultimate DJ Shane. Get your advance tickets only $250 at Agard's Nuts House and City Furniture Stores nationwide or on islandnytickets.com.
Remember the song used to make you rock away. Those were the days.
Powered by Agard's Nuts House, City Furniture, Tokopia Hotel and Lounge, Cricket Land Academy. The Reggae Ride 26, a touch of red, white, gold, and green.
Just a little bit longer, baby. Oh, my love keeps growing stronger.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Breakfast Show. Yeah. Heat inside of the last hour there, coming down the road, but that is how it is sometimes, But we live in a society where, we are expected to have tolerance because at the end of the day, I mean, who knows? Who knows what? Who knows where, how? Nobody really knows, there's so much mystery. And we, with our limited minds and capabilities, we are trying to make sense of some things. And the thing about mankind, once mankind start to unravel or feel that they're unraveling something, just feel that they're bigger than the creator, And I use that word creator to encompass everything. You understand? Because we are all here. Something somehow brought all of us here. Some people believe it's God, some people believe it's the Big Bang Theory, some people believe it's all manner of stuff. But who knows? And only time will tell. And that is why it's so important to have tolerance with people in situations like that, because it could really get kind of dicey, and at the end of the day, you really don't know. Wendell?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening. I mean, every now and then, as I said, there's reason to just reflect, restart, reflect, rethink, restart.
Restart and repurpose.
Yeah, every now and then there's reason to do that. With all manner of situations in your life, the things that you go through and you stop and you think, am I doing the right thing? Is this of any benefit to me at the end of the day, or am I just prolonging my agony? There are so many different aspects of life that you go through, regardless of what age you are, that you go through, and you just have to stop. You have to stop. I posted something recently. Let me see if it's still up. I posted this recently. No, it's gone. It's gone. But did I send it to anybody? Let me try to find it. Sir Charles. I need to find it because I think it's important.
Well, while you look for it, then we could take a couple calls. 2811-315-299-5156. We're inside of the 8 o'clock hour, so we can hear from you in between here. Good morning to you, caller.
Yeah, man. Hey, Sir Charles.
Morning, Dean.
Richard. Yeah, man. Right. Yeah, there's no mystery to this. I think the situation we're dealing with here is a education. It's a psychosocial intervention program. We know who need help. We know them in our communities. We knew that we give them nicknames. Some of them we shun them in the community. We say is this one. We know the klepto. We know the little thief. When he's a little thief, he's the klepto. He's this. So we all know. We develop certain traits, psychological traits, from when you're by age of 7, and by the brain is formed 21. So there's a science. They research this. They have all the things. So we go through primary school 5 years. We go through secondary school another 5 years. That's 10 years in the school system. We should be identify people who need support and intervene, but we haven't done those things. I was just reading the thing about tutor. Same thing. They said this thing about the parental legislation. They're saying it's not that. It's more psychological support mechanisms the teachers need. I just reading the thing about what Randy C. Prasad was saying, and the thing he's saying right. 60% is our emotional wars, 40%. So all this thing about stopping gang murder, still the higher rate is the emotional cutlass wars within the communities, which is us. But we're not seeing, for some reason, our political elites don't get that. They're not setting up the program. Or they can sit down and pray for all you want. Trying to support it. We need to invest our budget. We're going into a mid-year review, and if I don't see them investing the money into psychosocial things within community system, and all those things will intervene into all the gang what they want to do. Once you intervene good psychosocial programs into communities, we will see a result. And if you see that thing in, we will get the woman. Remember when Andrea Barrett was killed? The woman and the other girl who was killed in Santa Cruz. The people in the community knew the guy in that community. Who think the guy who fell off the chair was a serial rapist? That's why they held him, because they were looking for. They found him and they was asking him about Andrea, and he fell off the chair. He was known.
He didn't fall off a chair, Dean.
Well,
don't make it sound like if that's the reason for him dying. He got ill and he was sitting on a chair and collapsed.
Oh, well, I don't know. Let's say he fall off a chair.
I said that's what the narrative was then, that he fall off a chair, but he fell ill and he was sitting on a chair and collapsed.
Oh, right, okay. Right, but he was a serial thing. That's what he used to do, drive up and down the thing, picking up young woman, he and an accomplice. So known. And that's once again the Pika situation. You remember the whole thing, we're going on the super thing. He said we're going to deal with the Pika. This Pika thing I have read over the past 3 years, you know what I mean? People getting, one woman was robbed just some months ago, going to church by a man. When they heard him, he come from Toko, just jump in his car, driving, coming down the road to go robbing people. Must be going back to Toko. We have to do something about the Pika thing, and either find some way to deal with it. And it's over the years, it's primarily our women and children are the ones who are in the harms. We have these guys who could camouflage themselves within the Pika system, right? And we are to either find a way to regularize it or identify things. But the thing about it, and the data is, if you check the Break the Silence, or you could talk to people at the IGDS who formulate that program. They did a sex research project around from Tobago, Trinidad. It will curl your toes about the culture of sexual abuse to our children. And the Break the Silence was to encourage people to report it and speak up more about those things. And I think you talked to Dr. Gabrielle Hussain. She's a regular writer in the newspaper. I'm sure she'll be willing to talk to you about what they found and what other kind of things. But this thing, but educating young children about good touch, bad touch, and those things have changed the dynamics of how people talking about their uncle who thing and everything. And the data is our children are more primarily hurt by people who didn't know in their within the circle, their social circles, the stranger boogeyman thing. And that's why they keep it quiet, because they obviously keep them quiet. Is the way threaten them a little bit or curse them and all kind of thing. So, but when we give our children confidence to speak up about the things harm that on them, they find that these things, because now people they know you're not supposed to be in no room with me. Don't open no door. Don't come peeping in my room. Don't what you doing? And mommy, this one looking at me this way. I was in Holland, and I was taking a photo in a playground of my friend and her daughter. And another child behind them said, "Hey, you can't take any photos of me." And I said, "Hey, no, I'm not taking any photos of you." And I showed him, and he said, "All right," and he calmed down. But that boy had the confidence to say, "You, stranger man, not supposed to be taking no photos of me." And that's the thing about a child confident in his body to stand up in public and tell a stranger, "No, you cannot do that." And I said, "No, I wasn't taking any photos of you." In certain things that strangers, single people cannot be hanging around playgrounds. There are legislations on that. They watch those things in California. You can't be thinking. So when we teach our children the confidence, and they respond in kind and protect themselves and know how to protect themselves. So we have a lot to do. But when I not seen a government investing in these things,
that's the thing.
I am very concerned about that. We only talking about police. And now even talking about the money that's supposed to go into social intervention programs that will protect our children, educate men how to behave themselves, and stop all touching everything. Because as it have this saying in community, is 9 is time and is 12 is ready and all that kind of thing. They have this saying, they have these cultural sayings in communities among men. That when young women are menstruating, they're right for the taking. That's a culture. It's a culture that we need to break in men. This entitlement in men to touch and take and do anything with young women, and women like to encourage it to themselves, but we have to stop it, and that is education.
Thanks much, Jane.
Going back to the issue of the transportation about the PCAR system, in developed societies have the same PCAR system, but they call it Uber and Lyft and TT. Well, we have TTRS here. Those things aren't infallible, They have monsters within those organizations, but those organizations are so very well regulated that people will hardly ever take the chance, and there are so many options open to the passenger, you understand, in terms of how they deal with a situation like that. That is what makes it successful in those places. Because face it, when you go abroad, you largely depend, a lot of people, millions of people depend on Uber and Lyft and so on to get them around, But it's a system that they trust, not that they don't have people who will do bad in those systems. So I don't see why we can't do something properly organized here. TTRS in large measure, I use it from time to time, and to me it's always success, and it's
very good. It's very
a lot
good.
of female drivers. It gives the opportunity for a lot of women with their cars to make $1. And that's something that we need to explore a little better, a little more.
I have heard where that is concerned. I have not heard any bad news coming out of those ride shares and stuff. In Trinidad, as I've heard, where they have more suffered because people have robbed them in the past, But I've never heard much of to say that they have been doing other things. And for me, it's one of the safest ways to move around, even more than the regular taxis that you'll pick up, because
sometimes you don't know those taxi drivers. But now with the rideshare, when you call, you get to know who's the driver. They give you the information on him. They give you the registration of the car and all those.
Yeah. But it's an app, right? So what happens is that the driver calls you, so you immediately get the driver number. The driver number. You understand?
Because once you put in through the app and you make that request for the driver is on their database. So any driver that is calling you back from that is coming through their database, and his number, his face, is everything is you see,
Yeah.
So it's a guy. You know exactly who to look for. You know the number of the car. You know the description of the car. So it's very, very. It's for me. It's one of the safest forms of transportation.
Yeah. This is the post I made, so Charles. This is the post I made.
One minute. All right.
Wendell, Richard, and Sir Charles.
Morning.
Now, this morning, it's so sad for me this morning to learn about a 12-year-old child have been raped. It's so sad in this country again. What is really going on and taking place in this country? I said the government should call in Scotland Yard detectives to come and detect the crime in this country, because it's very worrisome now, boy. You sit down every morning, you get up, it's a crime, when get raped, get killed.
Did we lose her?
I want to send them. I will commend them. When they do bad, I will shut them out and say they do bad. I want to commend 2 police officers. Last week, right, the car shut down in the center of the highway, the center lane, right? The first man that was in a pickup, he came to my assistance. He pushed the car a little way to the island right by Chuvalina, right? And then a police car was coming up with some officers inside it. They stopped and they came to the car and they asked me what they wanted. The car shut down. So they pushed the car a little further by the bus shed there. So I want to thank the 2 officers this morning. I didn't take their name, but it was so nice for them to come out. And it's 2 young officers. You know, if all the older officers and then they wasn't going to come out because they didn't come out at all. But I want to commend the 2 young officers that came to my assistance on the highway.
Beautiful.
Right? They do a good deed, and I want to tell them, keep it up. And if I had an award, I would give it to them this morning. Keep it up, officer. All you do good, so I will say all you do good. But anytime the crime going astray, I will blast all you just as well.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
All right. This is what I posted, and this is for anybody right now who's listening, right? So it starts off, I don't know who needs to hear this, and I don't. But detach, let it end. Wish them well. Let it hurt. Let it be accepted. Let it heal. Let it go. Move on.
Move
Good?
on.
Move on. Let
Caller,
it go.
Caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Shagwana.
Yeah, I want you all to, I find I call in too frequently, right? But what happened is that over the years, a man used to, every day I buy 3 newspapers, I listen to the news, all kind of thing, and it was so depressing that I stopped buying newspapers, I stopped listening to the news, I stopped listening to the radio, and I'm not getting back into the little groove, you know what I mean? Because it seemed that probably now with your platform that you could offer some kind of solution to the problem instead of this depressing thing all the time. I was traumatized with the Joshua Samaru incident, and while I was now trying to get out of it and calm myself, this thing come and happen with the little girl. Right? And a traumatized state again. And we're going down there. The caller before thing on, we gotta look at solutions. And I feel my objective, right? A lot of people, I know you had a debate with the spiritual kind of thing before. And most people say, well, leave it to God and leave him to God. Well, if you're on the victim side, you will go out to punish him, right? And if you're on the perpetrator side, you will go out to forgive him. Right? So why didn't God stop him before? Right? Turn him into a pillar of salt or some kind of thing, so if you believe in that. But anyhow, let's go back to that more thing. We had a war on crime for the past 70 years. Are we winning this war? Right? You can't have a war on crime. The criminals who commit crime. We had to have a war on criminals. And criminals are very few in our community and so on. Here we do. One man in a community or two men, whoever, raping people, robbing people, murdering people. We go and call that a hotspot, and they want to clamp down on the hotspot. Now, when you clamp the whole community as criminal now, it's easy for them to morph and hide because we bring the whole community as criminals. Let we have a war on criminals, expose them, and right, have a zone, a people of special interest and a zone of special interest, right? Because our caller was alluding to it before. We could see when a criminal is developing, from school, the thieving people, the thieving somebody book, he thieving the pencil, he thieving mango, he going by neighbor, right? You could see it, and we live at deaf ear. We turn a blind eye to all of that. A child in the community, for one reason or the other, probably mother finances or whatever, you have broken home, whatever, he ain't going to school. Everybody leave you there on the street. When he come an adult now, is he giving trouble? He robbing people, he thieving people thing, right? When we can address that from the beginning, nip it in the bud because we're focusing on criminals and trying to clamp out the criminal minds and in the society and deal with it on a practical level. But when you lump everybody, the whole community, everybody, the criminals easy to hide and morph into the society and and just like what Wendell was saying, you have community, well, we don't, to me, is anarchy going on. We don't really have communities. We have places where people live. We don't have no communities in Trinidad and Tobago. You have places where people live, but you have a real community. The community leaders or the community council are supposed to know the demographic of the place, how much old people, how much young people, how much people drop out of school, right? People who need help. Who is the serial rapist? Right now, we don't have that kind of data-driven kind of information, right? So the last caller before, I agree with him that we're supposed to take some psychological and data-driven approach to this whole thing, right?
Yeah,
okay. That's my contribution. Other people
Caller, you actually, thanks for your contribution because you actually gave me a poll for tomorrow. Please go. Thanks.
Yeah. You see, I believe that the thing changed, and I don't think people are recognizing how much the thing has changed in the sense that where family life and community living has changed to when some of us were children, what we used to do in the neighborhood when we used to come out and everybody was congregating on a Sunday or where we play football and cricket and everybody would know each other. In today's world, people living next door to you in your apartment building or in your neighborhood, anyway, you don't know them. Everybody is not like an outdoor thing anymore. You just I tell you, in my community here, just a few years ago, I remember on a Sunday evening, I would look out through my window, go downstairs, and I would see the children in our neighborhood riding their bicycles on a Sunday. That don't happen anymore. When I walk downstairs on a Sunday afternoon, I go and buy ice cream or come back. The place like a ghost town, Wendell. The children are not outside playing, So the thing has changed quite a bit, and I don't know if we will be able to make that swing back that people are looking for.
Yeah. It won't happen. I mean, because technology affords us an opportunity to enjoy all those things that we as children enjoyed inside our house now. You understand? So I don't see it changing back, but at the same time, the demons amongst us, they're changing too, They're changing the strategies too,
Yeah,
you understand?
They're doing what they had to do just as well, also. You understand?
Yeah.
So and that is why sometimes when people talk about the world of itself has changed from since then. People
in a house with a child now, Sir Charles, even if they're in the bedroom quiet, you need to check on them still, Every now and then put on the computer, see what they're looking at. You know what I mean? Do people do well? I would imagine people do these things, but maybe not enough.
Not as before. Hello, good morning.
Hey, morning, gentlemen. I have to come back again. So the two previous contributions about the solutions. So, I always come with the historical thing, right? So I recall in my days in service reading some registers. Now remember how they separate long time is like the police station. Some of them used to function as a court. So you have like places like Separia and other places, San Rafael, San Grande, and things. The court and the station were basically close to one another, right? And I was reading some of these old registers with respect to crimes and so on. And the handwriting and all kind of thing. There's some great historical documents that the TTPS still have, right, in some places and so on. And you know what I realized? Trials, and I was reading one of the registers from the 1950s, and a murder trial was completed in 3 months, from when the person was charged to when they went to the High Court, and a verdict handed down. I read another entry with respect to a rape of a young woman. That alone was completed in 3 months. Granted, it was have had much less crime of that magnitude, and like what happened to the young Miss Cabrera this weekend and thing, right? But I was amazed at the swiftness of the matters. You come forward now, we have a JIPA. This was the law passed to speed up trials and so on. But you know what happened? Every time you have the first hearing, the next court date after that, which is the time given for attorneys to exchange disclosure and so on, is like 6 months down the road. So how are we really making the law effective when we're given such long timelines? So I am saying, if all the evidence is held by the prosecution, disclosure should just be about a month again, especially now in the electronic age. You understand? And how we have the hybrid system, virtual court and physical court. So why it is after the first sufficiency hearing, disclosure can be a month after, and then you schedule the trial for 2 months down the road, because that means everything will have been satisfied. All the both sides exchange one another, the prosecution exchange what is the case, the defense get the document and say, all right, we're ready to go ahead. And the master or judge should say, yes, in 2 months' time, I settle this matter. I recall when I would have worked in the court and process branch gentleman and worked in the High Court. You see, Justice Melville Beard and Justice Alice York Suhan, that's what they used to do. When they're going through their cause list and they're seeing the matters, they tell you, right, this matter will take 10 days or 15 days. And they used to impanel 2 juries, one after the other, and tell them, listen, these jurors here, you come back for the next matter in 15 days. And it used to be done.
Caller, did you listen? Did you get a chance to listen to the new voice notes that going viral with the magistrate in Tobago and the police prosecutor?
Shocking.
Isn't that something? Isn't that is just what you're talking about now? And that magistrate, she said she had enough, and she said this is, and she sounded off on him. She didn't have to do all that. She could have just dismissed the matter, but you could tell she was fed up.
No, but that is what she was going to do. And I have seen that in my career. What I'm saying, September last year for trial. We're in June now. And you say that you can't get in touch with your virtual complaint, the person who bring the matter. And
Yes.
There are ways to make these things happen. That is in the hand of the acting ASP who was there and even the prosecutor. Because I could tell you, every day a return has to go to the head of the court and process section to tell him which complainants did not appear in court or what is the status. And once that go up, it then goes to the commissioner office for sanction against people. And that's why I always say the accountability is what is killing the TTPS and all systems attendant to. But I want to leave with this one, right? So, we would have had the introduction of the electronic bracelet to monitor people on bail and so on, right? I recall in that debate, the same people who in government, not only UNC lawyers, were saying that the measures were too draconian because one of the measures that was in that bill was once the person interferes with the device or they lose the bail condition and they will remain in jail until the matter. And the opposition then was against that. They had to water it down. So I'm saying that that's what President Robertson said. Streams flow into rivers and rivers flow into oceans. Consequential decisions is what is coming back because all of them know about human rights and so on and the presumption of innocence. Yes, but and I want to tie that into our introduction of the register for people who are sex offenders, even if they're convicted or accused. Remember the bill know about that? Oh, no. And the public have a right to know. And I'm saying that if we're serious, all these things have to be put in place for the protection of our society. Because it's no longer like how it was. Look, my daughter is 17. And a great experience my daughter had. She did say she was a private candidate in January. So she said she had to go in town to do something. And she was walking up by Renegades and the first was on Sharford Court. First actually started to follow one thing. When she was going to get a taxi, I said, so what do you do? She said, let's speed up. She said, but I was waiting to deal with them, And I said, deal with them how? She said, we'll spend all our money and we to do karate for. And that is another conversation. I said, that is why I made you and your brothers do karate. To be able to defend yourselves. Now everybody can't do that. But in the environment when my children born in this decade and this century here, I knew I had to do things to help protect them when I wasn't able to.
Right. Yep.
Thanks very much, Cora. It's an important part of the thing, Yeah. To put something in place so they can at least give themselves, I don't want to say a fighting chance, but that is what it is, Mr. DeSantis.
Gentlemen, hello. I don't know if I could say
Virginia.
One. I don't know if I could say good for this morning with what has been happening, but you know what? I know it's emotional. Everyone is reacting and it's understandable. But this has been the things that are being done to our children, our jewels of the country has been going on for so long, and I cannot help but think of the Akil Chambers situation. And I'm sorry, in this moment, there is evidence, and I don't want to go into any graphic details, and I will not, but there is DNA evidence of two major suspects in the Akil Chambers situation. And even though one of the suspects may be deceased and cremated with today's technology, DNA and all of that, what is stopping? I don't know if this is the DPP or who, but what is stopping them from getting a DNA sample? Because that individual, both individuals have family members. And you can definitely solve the Akil Chambers murder. And this has been so long ago, but you see, now in today's 5-day, 6-day, 7-day memory society that we have, is move on to the next sensational headline. So thank you for allowing me to, vent on this. But this is not good. All right? Take care, guys. Have a good one.
Well, I mean, the Akil Chambers issue was never just a 5-day or 9-day wonder. That has always continued to be an issue that lurks in the background in terms of people's sensibilities and what's going to be the outcome. Because even had a kind of investigation where they had interviewed all of these people all over again, not so?
Yes.
So it's not something that goes under the 9-day wonder category at all, not that one.
That no.
But how do you protect children? Is it a law issue? Is it an issue of picking up dysfunctional people in schools and making sure that they don't become the monsters later on in life? I don't know what it is. I don't know what the solution is.
And Richard, going back to the same belief system thing, there are people who would believe also that those people would have paid a price already. Yeah? Those people were punished in more ways than one already. Yeah.
Yeah. But let's go down the road though that there is no God.
Wait, hold on 1 minute before I get back into that kind of conversation. Let me just take this call. Caller, good morning.
Good morning. Calling from Arima.
Yeah, Arima.
Yes, I just have 3 questions. The first one is concerning the Prime Minister's official government residence. What is the status of it? The second question, what is the status of the Prime Minister's government office? And the third question is, when will the Prime Minister, when would she make herself available to take questions from the press?
All valid questions.
But thank you for your questions.
It's just 3 questions because it's very unusual for a Prime Minister to operate from a private residence. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you for your questions. And we'll make sure to ask them. Well, we'll make sure to ask them at the cabinet briefing on Thursday, because we are not the ones that can answer that question.
Well, we can answer the last one, because Matt has already written to her asking the same question. Why has she not made herself available for a post-cabinet meeting?
Yeah, but we can't answer the question, Wendell.
Sorry?
We can't answer the question.
No, I mean, in terms of that one, we could refer that Matt has asked that question also. The others, in terms of the residence, the diplomatic residence in diplomatic center and the Prime Minister residence in St. Anne's, I don't know what, but I mean, I don't know what's going on there. We had heard rumors of some particular government minister residing there. We don't. Maybe it's just a rumor. You understand? Because she has said clearly she is comfortable at her home in Philippines, and that they've even had cabinet meetings down there. So we don't know if that is the answer for that. And what was the other one? All right, but those are the same things. Those are the same answers. The diplomatic residence and the residence in Philippines. It comes under the same thing. We don't know. And I'm tired. I'm tired. Only give me some time off now.
But you can't answer those questions because those are not questions to answer.
Yeah.
But we can answer.
Richard, you was making a point before. Do you remember what it was?
I was just saying, if we were to go down the road that there is no God, right?
You can't go down that road.
Of course I can. So let's go down the road that there is no God and that we are responsible for our actions and civilization. We are ultimately responsible. Then it means we are responsible for the unchecked monsters that live among us. And what do we as societies have to do? And this is not a Trinidad and Tobago problem. This is a human problem. How do we check the monsters that live among us? Because if there is no God, it means that we have to solve it. And we have to be the ones that discern or have systems that detect when people are going down that road and have some sort of rebalancing of the system so that they don't become monsters. But that's hard work. That's hard, systemic, regulatory work. So
that sounds like dictatorship.
Oh, I said that.
Dictatorship.
You saw that video?
That's not dictatorship. That's not dictatorship. That's having systems that can detect when people are very dysfunctional and what they need to ease that dysfunction, that they don't become the monsters that they are. Because what is their life story that made them a monster like that? But all of that is hard work and investigation. And so we just deferred, and as I said, I was giving a theoretical thought on it as if there was no God. It means we are absolutely responsible for all of this as a species. But when there is a God, we can say, oh, well, God help us. And that's what some people do. They say, God help us, and God will provide. God does not give you a burden more than you can bear, all the platitudes.
Yeah. Don't sound so when you say that.
Why I can't sound so?
Because I say so.
Okay, sir. Okay, master. My apologies.
Listen, we are failing largely because the people who are here, who took an oath to protect and serve and with pride, and who took an oath also to govern without fear or favor or ill will or malice, are failing. That's why we are failing. I can't put it any other way.
Well, it's not just a matter of they are failing. We have been failing for a long time.
Did I give a timeline on it?
Yeah,
why you always feel you need to defend this government? So
no, but
you give a timeline? No, that's what you're doing. You're defending the government. I said we are failing. Hold on. I said we are failing because the people who took an oath to protect us with pride, failing. I said we failing because the people who took an oath to govern without fear or favor, ill will. I never said who or which government.
All that fiery.
Don't try that with me, Sir Charles, this hour in the morning.
I think I heard you said this.
No, I never said this government.
I'm gonna play it back.
Listen, I know what I said. I never said this government.
Okay.
Well, this government failing too. But the last government failed. The government before that failed. The government before you want me to go on and on?
No, but that is what I didn't get that in the conversation.
No, because you want to dictate how I say things and what I say now.
What I wanted to do was
fight.
You want to tell me how to say things now?
I'm going to play back this party tip today. Captain Ron, come in.
Good morning, general people. What a, in spite of everything.
Morning, Captain.
I've been doing some research this morning on a serial killer based on the poll you all put out. And I checked Oxford, the Webster, and even Wikipedia. And it defines it as a serial killer, or also called a serial murderer, is an individual who murders 3 or more people, with the killings taking place over a period of more than 1 month in 3 or more separate events. So in other words, Jason, I don't know if Richard could expand on that and see if I'm saying it correctly. From my understanding of that, it's saying also a contract killer. He's also a serial killer. If you're killing more than 2 or 3 people, it doesn't matter how you do, but you're doing more than 3 or more people. And yesterday I was talking to someone, a friend of mine, and he in Trinidad, and he was telling me that there are places in Trinidad where you can hire a hitman for $2,500. So I'm saying, doesn't the police know these things? He said, yes, we have people you can make contact with, and you get those people to do it, and simple. So I think the police is also to be blamed. They know these things out there, and because if people knows it, the public knows it, they have to know it too. So, but even contract killers are serial killers.
Serial killers.
According to the definition.
So we definitely have serial killers then.
Captain, before you go, any update on that crash? What really happened there?
Well, they had an emergency and they were trying to bring it in, but it slid off the runway and it hit one of the, those signs they have on the runways that if you all ever notice it while you're flying. So it struck one of the signs, and of course the tank, that airplane was lowered, the tank got hit. Everybody died on the airplane. So it came out of Austin, Texas yesterday.
But did they say like how many people were on board, or was it just the?
Well, so far what we're reading that they keep talking about the two pilots in some news media parts, but from what I was told, with somebody who was down there who witnessed it, said his passengers was on board and a flight attendant. So I'll find out more on
Captain Ron, I didn't even know it still have planes with one seat on one side still. I didn't even know they're still flying planes like that. One seat on one side, all the way down to the back, and two seats on the other side.
All right, it have airplanes like the agriculture airplane which they have in Trinidad. They have them all over the world, where they spray our fields, corns, and different canes and all that stuff. Then they have what's a tow banner? It's an airplane that pulls a banner along the beach.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Areas. So they have their airplanes with one seat. Then you have fighter jets. They have one seat.
Yeah. I didn't know that they have passenger planes. I should correct myself. Passenger planes where there's one seat all the way down on one side. It's the weirdest looking plane I've ever seen.
Okay, so that part again, you're breaking up.
All right.
He said that was passenger planes he was talking about. Yeah, he didn't know that.
Where there's one seat on one side of the plane.
In the cockpit?
No, on one side, in the passenger side.
The passenger area.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the regionals are. It depends on how the customer, like say Caribbean Airlines is purchasing the airplane, how they want it laid out. So the airplane builders, they have certain models on how they can cater to you, and you just pick which one you desire for your type of service that you're giving. So they do have those, but right now everybody is looking for double seats and triple seats and stuff like that.
Yeah,
because they're trying to make more money.
Yeah. Captain, thanks much.
All right, have a good day.
Yeah, man.
All right, take care.
All right, people, so we're boarding on 9 o'clock. So
Sir Charles is the UNC unofficial defense lawyer. Somebody said that in the chat.
Oh, Lord. Although fella bad talk me in the chat. I don't take all yours, so that's all right.
Yeah, exactly. I don't take them all either. You shouldn't either.
Well, that was a very disappointing fight.
He said he wanted to listen it over. I'll be coming with an apology tomorrow morning. First thing I want tomorrow morning is an apology.
I think yeah, Lincoln.
Oh, folks have absolutely. I didn't even wish anybody happy birthday today. What's today? June 8th. Happy birthday if you're celebrating a birthday today. But folks have a wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God. It seems like the sun came out.
Yes, and of course, listen to New Era TT Radio online. New Era, oh my God, not even New Era TT. What am I saying? NETRadioTT.com and NETT Radio Trinidad and your smart devices. Have a fantastic day, people. Remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. You have been listening to
The Breakfast Show.
Yeah. All right.
All right, and listen to the jingle, right? Listen to the jingle.
Get up. It's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah. Wake up, it's a breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Morocco's Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Oh, good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show.